Welcome to the fantasy audiobook, Metropolis. I am a full-time professional, attracting worldwide attention. Chapter 81. When approaching the bottom of the mountain, Chenzan saw Brother Niu. It just stayed here to eat grass and didn't go anywhere. Go back. Moo. Back in the village, I ran into other villagers. The villagers saw the pheasant in his hand and were surprised. Xiao Chen, did you go to the mountain to catch the pheasant? No, I went to Moon Lake. Chenzan smiled. I ran into each other on the way back. The two pheasants were also stupid. They knew they were flying, and they caught them as soon as they caught them. Quote ? What does it mean that a pheasant can fly? Isn't it possible to run? Pheasant. I know that you two can fly. The pheasant is so miserable, it will be humiliated even after being eaten. The villagers didn't think there was anything. They looked at the mountain and said, don't go to the Moon River. From now on, if you have nothing to do, you will turn around at the foot of the mountain. Don't keep running deep. Chenzan puzzled. Uncle, what's wrong? There is a bear in the mountains. The villager looked serious. Oh, then I know. Chenzan nodded, expressing understanding. However, he had known for a long time that there were beasts in the mountains. The danger is dangerous, but it is still necessary. The bamboo baskets are all set, and a handful of spiritual soil is scattered. There will be fish tomorrow. Don't just throw it over there, what a waste. And he even bought the fishing rod. After several villager uncles talked heartily for several minutes, Chenzan listened patiently, and when they were almost done, Chenzan found an excuse to go back. I think what the uncle said makes sense. If you can't go or don't go. There is no shortage of money anyway, there is no need to take this risk. What are you afraid of? How can it be so easy to run into bears? The point is, this kind of thing only needs to happen once and it's over, gambling with your life. Isn't there a rhubarb? There is a bear. Let the rhubarb come on. I feel that the rhubarb can kill the bear. Brother, are you serious? Are you bragging about not going through the program now? Second brother, I rewarded 10 Buddhas who jumped over the wall and left a message. Brother Chen, can rhubarb be sold? I don't think Brother Chen will sell it. After all, Brother Chen is not short of money. Second brother, no one is short of money, nothing more than money. However, Chenzan didn't hold his mobile phone and couldn't see it. He returned home, threw the pheasant on the ground, washed his hands, poured himself a cup of hot water, and put it aside. Sitting on the pony tuck for a while, and just turning on the phone, the man started to reward him again. Second brother, I rewarded 10 Buddhas who jumped over the wall and left a message. Brother Chen, can rhubarb be sold? Chenzan smiled and said, not for sale. Second brother, Brother Chen, don't be too busy to refuse, my offer is not low. And I am also very interested in Brother Niu. I want to have both. How about 100,000? I'll go, 1 cow and 1 dog, 100,000. Is the big guy's money so much? Is it too much? I don't think it's too much. Brother Niu is so smart and broke the marathon record. How can he be considered a leader among the cows, right? I don't think it's too much, I even think 100,000 yuan is less. The smile on Chenzan's face gradually disappeared, and he pointed to his mouth. Look at my mouth shape, don't sell it. Second brother, 200,000. Chenzan's face turned black. Don't say 200,000, it's 2 million, 20 million, not for sale. This is not his pretense. He is not short of money, and what Niuzhe and rhubarb mean to him are not simply two animals. After taking Kaiji Dan, the two of them are almost equal to 2 children. Chenzan can communicate with them normally. And he is really short of money, some are making money, not relying on rhubarb and Brother Niu to make money. Brother Chen seems to be angry. Nonsense, I'm also angry for me, if I don't sell it, I still ask, if you are paralyzed. 3 cups of wine, I rewarded 10 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message. Chen Jie, calm down, don't be angry. Chenzan got up and said, it's getting late, I have to go make dinner. However, as soon as he put the phone down, his phone rang. It's another unfamiliar number. Since jogging to the county town today, his mobile phone has almost been blown up. After hesitating for a while, he took it. Hello, who? Brother Chen. Oh no, Hello, Mr. Chen, I am Lin Wanwan of Cat Platform, which is the platform to undertake the live broadcast of the program group, Into the Career. Oh, hello, Chen Zan asked. What's the matter? Lin Wanwan said, we want to sign a contract with you. Chen Zan's heart moved. He had thought about this before, but he didn't expect the other party to come to the door. Lin Wanwan said, the contract we give you is a customized contract, customized by Qidong himself. Can you send it to me? Of course you can. Lin Wanwan said, Brother Chen, give me a mailbox. Chen Zan told him the email. A few seconds later, Lin Wanwan said, Brother Chen, I sent it to you. Please check it carefully. Okay, thank you. Chen Zan said, I will cook first, and watch it later, and then I will contact you. Then I will add your WeChat. After hanging up the phone, Chen Zan put down his phone and started cooking. At the moment, on Weibo, the hot search was basically taken over by Chen Zan. The most frightening thing is that in addition to Chen Zan, even Niuzhe and Rhubarb are also on the hot search. In these hot searches, there are so few that are quite out of place. Different village, same script. This matter has to start this morning. After getting up in the morning, Zhang Xiao ate something casually, and started the treasure hunt this morning according to the script of last night. First, go to the bamboo forest to dig bamboo shoots. While digging, I explained how to dig bamboo shoots. It really looked like that. Then he came to a certain bamboo, patted the bamboo and said, there are definitely bamboo shoots under this bamboo. Don't brag, do you think you are Brother Chen? These are all from Baidu last night, right? Brother Chen didn't prepare in advance. It must be Baidu. Otherwise, I didn't dig it for Mao yesterday. Didn't I see Brother Chen dig it? Predecessors planted trees and descended from the shade. Brother Chen is a beacon. Zhang Xiao swung his hoe down, and soon there were bamboo shoots. He shouted excitedly, look, there are really bamboo shoots. Oh, not bad. Broad and wide, I won't die from starvation today. It seems that Brother Chen's experience is really quite impressive. In the next half an hour, Zhang Xiao dug more than 30 bamboo shoots, all of them large. Finally, some netizens felt that something was wrong. Is it such a fake for Mao? I dug 30 or so in half an hour. On average, I dug one in less than a minute. It's really a bit fake. Bamboo shoots are not so easy to dig. Even if you know where they are, it takes several minutes to dig out bamboo shoots. Can't you see that the bamboo shoots were buried in advance? The celebrity next door is also digging bamboo shoots. Your mother, I am so ridiculous. I don't have any common sense. I dug more than 20 bamboo shoots in 10 minutes, which is more fierce than Zhang Xiao. It's too fake. Your mother, what is this? Brother Chen has told you how to dig it, and even falsified on horseback. Isn't it interesting? If you have the courage to catch snakes, if you have the ability to catch pheasants, do you want to learn the whole set? Zhang Xiao can't see these. After digging the bamboo shoots, he rested for a while, and looked behind the bamboo forest. I don't really like bamboo shoots so much. Go there and see if there are any wild vegetables. He carried the hoe and walked over there and said as he walked, you may not know, but I used to play in the countryside when I was a child. I knew a lot of wild vegetables and medicinal materials. How do I feel? He is bragging. It's not bragging. If nothing happens, he should be paving the way for the next pretense. Be a prophet, he will dig up herbs later. Almost when these netizens were just discussing, Zhang Xiao suddenly stopped, staring into the distance. His expression was very exaggerated, and his tone was even more exaggerated. My God, everyone guess what I found. What a bad acting. Zhang Xiao walked over quickly, squatted down, and pointed to the green grass in front of him and said, have you seen this? This is Polygonum multiflorum, and judging from this leaf, this plant of Polygonum multiflorum is at least several hundred years old. My God, let me run into such an expensive Chinese herbal medicine. Brother, can you be more realistic? Can't stand it, it's so fake. It's mainly embarrassment, isn't he embarrassed himself? My toes are almost out of the public toilet. Embarrassed, I look for places to shit cover my face. Zhang Xiao digs out the mud 3 times, then pulls out a huge Polygonum multiflorum. Ha ha ha, luck is really great. Although Polygonum multiflorum is not as good as wild ginseng before, but this one can sell for hundreds of thousands. If you like Polygonum multiflorum, you can tell me that I will keep it for you. He carefully installed Polygonum multiflorum and swept forward and said, I think my luck today is really good. I continue to walk and look ahead. Maybe there will be more gains. Quote. As long as you are happy. Well, being alive is the most important thing. It's just this acting skill that needs to be polished. Zhang Xiao continued to walk forward, walked halfway, and stopped again. The expression on his face continued to exaggerate, and even his voice was trembling. That's Ganoderma lucidum. Oye, Ganoderma is here. Brother, come on, pick it. I bet this is 100 years of Ganoderma lucidum. 100 years. You look down on my brother Zhang. Not even 1,000 years are unworthy. Zhang Xiao ran up and squatted down and said, It's really Ganoderma lucidum, my god, this Ganoderma lucidum is so big, at least 70 or 80 years old. What does that sentence say? As long as you are not embarrassed, it is someone else who is embarrassed. Do you make money? Not shabby. Shame is not important, money is the most important. Let's go see my brother Chen, these stars really act according to the script. Zhang Xiao took off the Ganoderma lucidum and said, If you want to buy it, you can contact me. Then he continued to walk forward, walked a certain distance, and stopped again, with that exaggerated expression on his face again. Netizens have become numb. Let me guess what it is this time. He Shuwu has it, Ganoderma lucidum has it, why should it be wild ginseng this time? Wild ginseng is so expensive, their company is willing. Didn't Brother Chen say that there are many kinds of ginseng, maybe people get ginseng like round ginseng. Wild ginseng. Zhang Xiao yelled, and at this moment even his legs and feet were a little soft because of excitement. He walked over, squatted down, and counted the leaves, 1 piece, 2 pieces, 6 pieces. This is a wild ginseng with 6-pin leaves, and it is at least 200 years old. You are wild ginseng, I ate the soil. I feel my IQ has been insulted. Looking on, I'm afraid I will become an evil pen. After counting, 3 celebrities dug up Ganoderma lucidum, 6 celebrities dug wild ginseng, and 12 celebrities dug bamboo shoots. This matter has been hotly searched at a terrifying speed. And under the hot search, it also attracted the fragrant mouth of netizens. Niubi, a century-old wild ginseng is so worthless, you can dig it up the mountain. Who is this a fool? There is no harm if there is no comparison. The gap is too big and it is not one level at all. Brother Chen has supported a group of stars. These stars come back from the mountains and are happy. But when they picked up their phones and saw the comments below the hot search, their smiles disappeared. Is this for Mao? Dig bamboo shoots, Ganoderma lucidum, and wild ginseng. Why is there such a big difference? Why are you treated differently? They are angry, they are puzzled. The other side. Chen Zan has stewed the pheasant, leaving 1 pheasant to eat tomorrow. After half an hour, the food is out of the pot. A braised chicken with bamboo shoots and a stir-fried bamboo shoots. Rhubarb was sticking his tongue out, and his saliva almost came out. Gluttonous. Chen Zan smiled, took a big iron fist, served white rice, chicken and bamboo shoots, and placed it in front of it. Rhubarb huffed and ate it. It was called a fragrant. I don't envy Mandarin ducks or immortals, I only envy Brother Chen every day. I feel that the rhubarb is more comfortable than me, and I can still eat Brother Chen's food. Take out the feeling. People are not as good as dogs series. After dinner, it was dark. After washing, Chen Zan took a look at the super yard and shouted, Brother Niu, if you want to shit at night, remember Tian Lila on the other side, don't you know? Moo. Brother Niu lay on the ground without raising his head. He said that he had just gone out to pull the papa, and he didn't need to wake up tonight. Bringing rhubarb back to the house, Chen Zan pointed to the living room. Let's sleep in the living room, P&P outside. Wow. Rhubarb nodded his head, jumped onto the sofa with a missing leg, and fell asleep. Chen Zan returned to the house before he could open the contract sent by Lin Wanwan. Signing a contract mainly needs to pay attention to several points, such as the length of the contract, the basic salary, and the benefits. However, this contract is a bit different. Contracts for live broadcast platforms are generally divided into SABC levels. The S level is almost capped, and this custom level contract is equivalent to the SSS level. There is no so-called contract period, but there is a basic salary. The basic salary is 3 million and the gift is divided into 91. In addition, there are dividends for dry shares, 5% of the stock. The so-called dry shares means that only dividends can be paid, and there is no decision right at the company level. But even so, it's terrifying. 5%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the Kitten platform is the top 3 live broadcast company in the country, with a huge volume. Just the 5% of the dry stock dividends will cost tens of millions every year. Chen Zhan was a little surprised. The treatment given to him under this contract is surprisingly good. But he knew that he was indeed worthy of this contract. The Kitten platform dared to give him this contract, and it must be a fancy to his potential. Finding Lin Wanwan's WeChat account, Chen Zhan said, "The contract is pretty good, I have no problems here." Lin Wanwan has been guarding WeChat. Just after the news came, a big rock in her heart fell suddenly when she looked at this line of words. Then I will send you the contract tomorrow. No, I'll make some time to go to the county to print. It's fine. What a joke, this is what Qidong pays special attention to. After talking with Chen Zhan, she contacted Qidong as soon as possible to report the matter. Then I bought a ticket for the night and set off immediately. So far, other platforms have not contacted Chen Zhan, but the contact is only a matter of time. But she definitely dared to say that no platform can reach the height of this contract. Absolutely not. Early the next morning, Chen Zhan still got up early, and when he came out of the bedroom, he saw Rhubarb lying on the sofa slouching and sleeping. Squeak. Pushing the door out, I saw a big pile in the yard at a glance. It was Brother Niu. Early to bed and early to get up and good health, good morning everyone. Smiling at the camera, Chen Zhan walked outside the door. When he passed by Niu, the latter put his eyes on the eyes and looked over. Moo. I'm going to pick some green vegetables. Chen Zhan said without looking back, it's okay to sleep for a while. When I'm hungry, I will go to the mountains to find something to eat, and I will come back after eating. Then left this sentence aside. He doesn't have time to herd cattle, he has a lot of things today. Pick the vegetables and come back, cut them and throw them into the pot to cook the vegetable porridge. There is no lean meat, otherwise the vegetable and lean meat porridge is so delicious. As soon as the fire started, I saw Rhubarb coming over. Come over. Wow, stare at it. After a while, the fire goes out, and then throw a stick of firewood into it, like this. Chen Zhan showed it. Do you understand? Wow, Rhubarb nodded, indicating that this is so simple that pigs can learn it. I suddenly felt that if the Rhubarb could grab an iron spoon, the cooking skills would be better than me. Rhubarb is really versatile. It can hunt and cook. Yesterday, the Uncle 200 yuan felt like it was less. Rhubarb looks so-so, but smart. And the Chinese pastoral dog is actually not ugly. In addition, the frame is still big, so don't feel too safe when you take it into the mountain. Chen Zhan came to the yard, standing and exercising. This stop is 1 hour. At 7:30, Chen Zhan stood with his legs back, walked into the kitchen and opened the lid. The fragrant green vegetable porridge was cooked. After breakfast, the phone rang. The fishing rod he bought yesterday arrived and was placed by the courier at a supermarket in the town for collection. The fishing rod is here, you can go fishing today. Chen Zhan was a little excited, and turned his head to see that Brother Niu hadn't left yet. I have just eaten and are not suitable for strenuous exercise. So he walked over with a smile. Brother Niu, do me a favor. 5 minutes later, a cow and a dog are walking on the road to the town. Sitting on the back of the cow is Chen Zhan. Brother Chen, you really don't want to be a human being. As the cow used to ride. The cow is used to care. Brother Niu is too weak to resist. Furious and cold. When will Niu really stand up? Riding a cow and bringing a dog all the way to the town, I got the courier. He disassembled the courier and inspected it on the spot. This is the lure rod, the water drop wheel. This is more convenient, and it can be thrown far away, and it is all predatory fish. This is a fishing rod made of rice. It's okay to hang some crucian carp, bream, grass carp or something. In addition, Chen Zhan also bought a complete set of fishing line, hook and float. Congratulations to Brother Chen for entering the fishing pit. Fishing is as deep as the sea, and there is no more leisure time ever since. Since then there has been another angler in the world. I think back then, I fished to get rid of anxiety. Now it's better. I become anxious even if I don't fish for a day. After the automatic fishing, I quit mahjong and quit prostitution. It's boring to watch women, and my mind is full of the appearance of fishing. Me too, so am I. I want to throw 2 shots, cover my face when I see the ditch. Catch a fish, is it such an exaggeration? It's not an exaggeration at all. The moment the float sank, my adrenaline was soaring. According to scientific research, fishing is the second most addictive sport. What's the first? Hey. Understand in seconds. Hey, while fishing, isn't it double happiness? You are not right. Chen Zan installed the fishing rod, turned on the cow, and returned home. When I got home, I just got off the back of Brother Niu when I received a call from Lin Wanwan. She has already arrived, and is walking towards this side. At the speed of this little girl, it will take almost half an hour. You wait, I will let Brother Niu pick you up. No need, I can just go by myself. Chen Zan ignored her and said directly, don't be afraid to see Brother Niu, just let him squat down, Brother Niu understands it. I hung up the phone and said to Brother Niu, do me a favor and pick someone up for me. Moo, Brother Niu bent his knees homeopathically. Brother Niu was tired. Chen Zan, okay, learn to bargain. Chen Zan had to take a bottle of gin drink, put half of the bottle in front of it, and poured another half of it for rhubarb. After drinking, Niu Zhe immediately stood up. I feel full of power in my body, moo. Chen Zan, really so realistic, small. After Brother Niu left, the drone followed. A visitor is coming. Everyone is curious, who is looking for Chen Zan in the morning. More curiously, can Brother Niu be able to pick up people? After Brother Niu went out, he ran all the way. A villager saw it and shouted, Xiao Chen, your cattle ran away. Chen Zan smiled and said, it picks up someone, it's okay. Pick up. The villager looked blank. Chen Zan was not idle either, but he promised Wang Bin to make a pot of snake soup for his father. Catch the black snake out, chop off the head with a knife, peel the skin and remove the internal organs. Skillful, like a work of art meticulously sculpted. Within 10 minutes, a snake was cut off by Chen Zan and thrown into the pot. This snake is big and fat enough to feed 3 people. Throw it into the pot, cover the pot, the fire is stuffy. He found the teacup and washed it, poured a cup of hot water and set it aside, then took out his mobile phone to see if Brother Niu arrived. On the screen, Brother Niu was still running wildly. With a weight of more than 1,000 caddies, under such a rush, full of power. Lin Wanwan just got off the taxi, stood at the intersection of the highway and the village road, and looked up at Fengming Mountain in the distance. It's so beautiful. Working in the city all the year round, I am used to seeing the high-rise buildings in the city, and suddenly seeing the blue sky, white clouds, green mountains and green water, which makes her feel relaxed and relaxed. Da. Just a few steps away, she heard a series of dense footsteps. Looking up, a few hundred meters away, there was a shadow that was constantly magnifying in her eyes. That is Brother Niu. She recognized it. Brother Chen really asked Brother Niu to pick me up. Lin Wanwan was a little surprised. Brother Niu runs fast, and a distance of several hundred meters is a matter of 10 seconds. Lu Si-san, as the distance gets closer, she can also clearly and obviously feel the pressure brought to her by Niu Zhe under such a burst. I found it. Brother Niu, just ask, where can I buy such a mount? It's a good buy, but I don't know how to train. The man actually said 200,000 to buy Brother Niu. What kind of dream is he doing? This kind of mount can't be bought for 2 million. Wait, Brother Niu, should you stop and brake? Brother Niu rushed all the way and didn't mean to stop at all. Lin Wanwan's tender face was a little pale. If he was hit, he would be able to fly out directly. Hulla, seeing that it was almost there, they were still about 10 meters away. Niu made a sudden stop, and his 4 legs dragged a long trace on the ground. Finally, he stopped steadily about 3 meters in front of Lin Wanwan. Lin Wanwan patted her chest vigorously, her face pale, and let out a sigh of relief. The speed is 200 per hour, and the braking distance is 5 meters. This is really a magical outfit. The Ferrari in my hand suddenly no longer fragrant. Brother Chen, I'll trade my Bugatti Veyron for Brother Niu. A real man should ride a bull, brother. I have decided to buy a cow and ask Brother Niu to borrow it. I lost it, shoo brother. A group of people looked envious. There is a horse like Niu going out, not better than Ferrari. Brother Niu, Lin Wanwan shouted in a low voice. Moo, Brother Niu replied, but unfortunately she didn't understand. However, when she saw Brother Niu's eyes, she was suddenly startled. She had a feeling that she was not facing a cow, but a person hidden under the cowhide. Moo, Brother Niu walked to her, bent his knees and squatted, his head tilted back, as if to beckon her to come up. Lin Wanwan asked uncertainly, can I go up? Moo, Brother Niu nodded. Lin Wanwan was even more shocked. It can really understand me. What did Brother Chen do to train a cow to achieve this effect? She climbed onto the back of the cow, and Brother Niu slowly stood up and walked towards the village. It did not dare to run fast, which was also Chen Zhan's order. After all, Lin Wanwan is not Chen Zhan. If she runs too fast, it is easy to knock her down. 10 minutes later, Brother Niu came back. A long distance away, Chen Zhan had already heard the sound of moo. Here's here, don't shout. Chen Zhan walked over helplessly. Niu went into the yard and squatted down, and Lin Wanwan jumped down. Thank you, Brother Niu. Lin Wanwan hurriedly thanked him, and Brother Niu made a moo, as if to say no thanks. Brother Chen. Lin Wanwan hurriedly shook hands with him. Sit down. Chen Zhan brought her some water. The home is simple and there is no tea. I like to drink boiled water. Lin Huan laughed and had 2 small dimples, very cute. Oh, this smile is so healing. My heart is melted. Brother Chen, give you 3 minutes and give me all the information about this girl. What does this girl do? Brother Chen's girlfriend. Do your boy and girl friends shake hands when they meet? Yeah, my girlfriend and I not only shook hands, but also applauded. Lin Wanwan took a sip of water and took out the contract. Brother Chen, take a look at the contract. Okay. Chen Zhan read it page by page. A few minutes later, after reading the contract, he said, no problem. Then grabbed the pen and signed his name. Lin Wanwan checked it, and suddenly heaved a sigh of relief. Although the contract has not been sent back for final review, basically, at this point, it is considered complete. Nothing can happen again later. Then I won't bother Brother Chen. Lin Wanwan closed the contract and prepared to leave. Chen Zhan said, let's go after lunch. Lin Wanwan was about to refuse subconsciously, but when he thought of Chen Zhan's cooking skills, he swallowed. When he refused, he couldn't say anything. As if seeing Lin Wanwan's entanglement, Chen Zhan said, it's settled, stay for dinner, and then leave after eating. Then I and Niu will send you off. Yeah, Lin Wanwan agreed with the situation. It's just time for a meal, not to be delayed. She said to herself in her heart. You sit here for a while, I'll go to the Moon River to catch some fish. If you have guests at home, you can be treated well. With this order at home, no matter how good his cooking is, he still can't get it on the countertop. With a warning, Chen Zhan pinned the hatchet to his waist, grabbed the fishing rod and put it on the bamboo basket and left. Brother Chen, I will go with you. Lin Wanwan followed. You too. Yeah, Lin Wanwan said. I can help you catch fish. She was a little embarrassed to stay for dinner. After all, Chen Zhan is still challenging. He also asked him to work hard to catch the fish, but he did nothing, and felt embarrassed no matter how he thought about it. Chen Zhan thought for a while, then glanced at Brother Niu. Okay, let's go together. Rhubarb, Brother Niu, gone. With a hello, a cow and a dog followed. When he reached that piece of grass, Brother Niu stopped by himself. Chen Zhan didn't talk nonsense with it, took out the gin drink and said, follow me to Moon River. Moo, Brother Niu, what a question. After walking into the mountain for a while, Lin Wanwan was a little out of breath, sweat oozing from his forehead. Ride the bull, Chen Zhan said, patted Brother Niu and let it squat down. Lin Wanwan wanted to refuse, but when he thought of the speed at which Chen Zhan walked through the mountains yesterday, and then looked at his dragging speed, he swallowed the words. On the back of the cow, Chen Zhan put a rope around Niu's head and let Lin Wanwan catch it. It's faster to run in a while, hurry up. Aha! Lin Wanwan clutched the rope tightly and did not dare to let go. Brother Niu, keep up. Chen Zhan opened his legs, and his speed immediately rose. Rhubarb followed, and brother Niu quickly followed. The terrain in the mountains is not easy to walk, but Niu is after all Niu, regardless of its size, but not clumsy at all. Running at such a fast speed in the mountains and forests, a kind of agility that is seriously inconsistent with its huge body erupted. Lin Wanwan felt her body float and sway from time to time. Just a little bit, I was about to be thrown out by brother Niu. She grabbed the rope hard and leaned down slightly. This unprecedented fresh experience made her feel both nervous and excited. I'm going, it feels so cool to ride Niu. I'm so envious, I also want to ride a bull through the forest. Looking at my heart's upsurge, I just took the pigs at home and rode out. If I don't have brother Niu, I can only ride my girlfriend crying. Brother, I have a cow, change your girlfriend. Wang Dao said. He is not herding cattle, he is raising cattle as wild animals. I have never seen such a cow. Ma Jingyao couldn't bear to look at it. In the hearts of ordinary people, Niu has always been quiet, like a loyal and honest partner. But Chen Zan, the cow, is lively like a child, and his body is full of freedom. They say so, but they are actually very envious in their hearts. Who doesn't want to be like Lin Wanwan, riding a cow through the forest? It's cool to think about it. Brother Niu. After running for 10 minutes, Chen Zan suddenly shouted. Da Wang and brother Niu stopped and looked at him together. Chen Zan slowed down and walked towards the forest in front of him. Brother Chen, what's the matter? Lin Wanwan asked curiously. This piece is a coniferous broad-leaved forest. Chen Zan grabbed a dead branch and drew it against the dead leaves under the roots. I noticed this forest yesterday, but it was almost night. Just leave it alone. Lin Wanwan asked, is there anything in this forest? Chen Zan said, the coniferous broad-leaved forest has a delicious taste on earth. Food, yeah, Chen Zan said. Have you heard of fungus? No. Lin Wanwan shook his head blankly. What is the fungus? Chen Zan paused, bent down, and picked up something from the fallen leaves. He raised what was in his hand and said, this is it. This is a small, white mushroom-like thing. Mushrooms. Well, it's a mushroom, but it's wild and it tastes delicious. Chen Zan kept plucking the fallen leaves with the branches, and basically found a strain of fungus every 10 seconds. This is morel, which is a more expensive type of fungus, and the morels sold in the market are usually dried morels. Fresh ones are generally not available. This is called boletus, and this is called tricholoma. Chen Zan kept dialing. Just for a while, he has picked more than a dozen fungi, and there are several varieties. It's best not to dig the fungus with an iron tool. It is best to bring a wooden stick. Once you find the fungus, pound the stick from the side of the fungus, then gently pick it up, soften the soil, and the fungus will come out by itself. Ns. The fungus produced by this method is very complete and can be sold at a high price even if it is taken out. Hey, this is Ji Kong. Chen Zan's tone was somewhat unexpected. It's really rare. Lin Wanwan had jumped from the back of the cow, and brother Niu was grazing and waiting while the rhubarb was running around in the woods. Brother Chen, I will help you. You help me carry this. Chen Zan handed her the bamboo basket, and then shook the fungus in his hand. Look, Ji Kong. Is this expensive? It's not cheap. Chen Zan said. A pound of fresh can sell for several hundred yuan. This thing is especially delicious for making chicken Kong sauce, and the stew is also good. He threw the chicken pine into the bamboo basket and continued to search for it. Is the fungus so expensive? It depends on what kind of fungus it is. Morel mushrooms and porcini mushrooms, as well as the chicken fur just now, are all relatively expensive, but the mushrooms are very cheap. Understood. Let's dig the fungus. I feel that even if Brother Chen doesn't sell wild ginseng, he can easily spend this month digging fungus every day. There is a saying that is called backing by mountains to eat mountains and relying on water to draft water. But it also depends on people. For people like Chen Zan who are familiar with mountains, can set traps, and hunt wild beasts, mountains are precious. As long as there is a mountain, you will never die of starvation. But for ordinary people, even if they know that there are wild ginseng, fungus, and various wild vegetables in the mountains, they can't find it. Matsutake, Chen Zan suddenly whispered, holding a small white fungus on his hands stained with soil. Lin Wanwan looked curiously. Is this matsutake? Although she has never eaten it, she has heard of matsutake. Her impression of matsutake is just one word, expensive. Yes, that's it, Chen Zan said. Compared with the mushrooms picked before, the price of matsutake is another grade. Fresh matsutake costs more than 1,000 yuan per catty. But this kind of fungus is not easy to find. There are not many distributions in Huizhou, mainly in Yundian. The most famous matsutake is Shangri-La, and the price of matsutake there is a lot more expensive. Chen Zan introduced it while continuing to pick it up. Lin Wanwan said, "Brother Chen, you know a lot. Understand a little bit." Chen Zan smiled, and immediately looked at the camera. His voice suddenly increased. "My friends, here I must remind everyone that although the fungus is delicious, but when you encounter fungi you don't know in the wild, don't pick it every year. There are many tourists who died of poisoning due to ingestion of poisonous fungi. I was so scared that my body was shocked. This thing is poisonous. If my girlfriend chews them first, and then feeds me mouth to mouth, will it be poisoned? Can you be a man if you are paralyzed?" Watching the news some time ago, a tourist was poisoned by fungus and saw a villain. Chen Zan has been picking it up here for more than half an hour, and the bamboo basket on Lin Wanwan's back has been piled about 1/3 of the depth. He held the bamboo basket in his hand, weighed it and said, "It can be about 13 or 4 kilograms, and it can be sold in the market, and there is no $2,000 that can't be taken down. Grass, earn 2,000 yuan in half an hour. It's so easy for you to make money for Mao. How do I feel that you are picking up money?" I cried on behalf of the other 99 challengers. Wang Dao said, "Chen Zan is really easy to make money. Even without wild ginseng, he will spend a month in the countryside very easily. I feel that he is here for vacation." Li Lang smiled bitterly, and looking at the bitterness of other challengers, it was really a world. Chen Zan carried the bamboo basket on his back and led Lin Wanwan on the back of the cow, and continued on his way. A quarter of an hour later, through the last piece of wood, the sparkling moon river appeared in the field of vision. "It's so beautiful." Lin Wanwan was intoxicated. Chen Zan put the things down, took out the fishing rod and said, "You sit here and rest for a while, I will go back and catch a few fish." Fishing is not something you can catch if you want. The Air Force has passed by for 7 consecutive days. Brother Chen, you'd better go down and catch it, so the chance will be bigger. Brother Chen didn't bring a fishing rod. He brought luya. Then you're done. Luya is the most difficult to catch fish. Zhang Jianmin shook his head and said, he is afraid that he won't be able to catch fish today. Wang Dao asked, "Why do you say that?" Zhang Jianmin said, "I also like fishing, and I know this well. His fishing method is called lure, and he uses fake bait." "What is the fake bait?" Concubine Lin asked. Fake bait is a fishing method that simulates the escape of small fish, so the fish that Luya catches are some carnivorous fish. And this kind of fishing method, basically 10 fishing is empty. There is a high probability that he will not be able to catch it today. Fish. Didn't he lose a fish basket yesterday? Yes, there is a fish basket. Zhang Jianmin said. This is still hopeful, but yesterday he dropped the fish basket without making a mark, and he may not be able to find it. Chen Zan put the luya pole on the ground at this time and took out the fake bait. He specially soaked the fake bait in the genetic drink, so that he would throw it away later, and rely on the taste to attract some fish to bite. Lin Wanwan squatted aside, watching seriously. Brother Chen, is this a fish hook? This is called artificial bait. Chen Zan said. Simulate the swimming posture of a small fish escaping, attracting predatory fish to bite it. As long as the fish bites it, it will be transmitted to the fishing rod through the fishing line, and I can feel it when it arrives, then just pull it ashore. Lin Wanwan suddenly realized. It turned out to be like this, it's so simple. Yes, it's very simple. Chen Zan nodded and hung the fake bait on the fishing line. What did I just hear? Simple. This young lady said that luya is simple. Brother Chen actually agreed to say that it is simple. It's over, don't read it, the Air Force is inevitable today. Chen Zan tied the fake bait, walked to the shore, glanced across the lake, and said, First, get the fish basket from last night. If I remember correctly, I left the fish basket in that position. After speaking, the fishing rod flicked and the fake bait flew out and landed on the lake more than 10 meters away with a thud. Waiting for the fake bait to sink to the bottom slowly, Chen Zan grabbed the fishing rod and jerked it up. Suddenly, the fishing line was tightened, and the fishing rod was bent into an exaggerated arc. Obviously, something was caught by the hook below. The fishing line was slowly recovered, and soon, something under the water gradually surfaced. Does this work? Really found the fish basket. Wipe, it's so accurate. After a while, Chen Zan hooked the fish basket to the shore. At the moment when the fish basket came out, everyone could see clearly. There are fishes beating in this fish basket. Wow! Chen Zan walked over and lifted the fish basket out of the water. And everyone can see it more clearly. The small fish basket is full of fish and shrimps. Worry, why are there so many fish? Your sister, can this be an explosive protection? Are these fish all stupid? Just a big fish basket like this, and they are going to drill into it one by one. Brother Chen, this is a silly fish. You can't eat it. If you eat it, it will affect your IQ. I suggest you send it by mail and I will help you solve it. This place has a good batch of resources, waiting for me. I will come to Moon Lake to fish next month. Everyone was envious, especially a group of anglers whose eyes were red. However, they didn't know that it was not because there were so many fish in Moon Lake, but because the taste of spiritual soil was too young. Crucian, snakehead, mandarin, bream, the fish species are really rich. Chen Zan released the small fish, kept the big fish, and threw the fish basket in the water on the shore. Then began to throw the rod fishing. Once thrown, the fake bait flew out tens of meters and fell into the water. Then slowly shake the fishing reel to take up the line. This throwing technique is not like a novice. I'm definitely not a novice. I just threw at least 50 meters in that shot. I can't even throw that far. Brother Chen really practiced. However, no matter how far you throw it, you won't be able to catch the fish. It's too difficult for Luya to catch the fish. At this time, Chen Zan grabbed the fishing rod's hand and raised it suddenly. The fishing line straightened with a buzz, and the fishing rod bent into a thrilling arc. And the rod is still shaking. This is the situation that only occurs when dragged by a fish. It's a fish. Why is luck so good? Well, what about the good lure? Mappy, you hit the fish on the first shot. What kind of luck? Chen Zan took the line quickly, feeling the strength of the fishing line, and said, this fish is not small, it should be about 10 kilograms, it feels really good. Lin Wanwan trot over. Brother Chen, have you caught a fish? If you catch it, drag it ashore immediately. As the fishing line continues to be recycled, the fish quickly surfaced. Snapped. There is more than 20 meters of water from the shore, and the fish beats the water with great force. However, after all, Chen Zan's strength could not be matched, and he was getting closer and closer to the shore. 5 meters away, Chen Zan finally saw the true face of this fish. Cocked mouth. Chen Zan smiled and said, this fish is delicate and steamed especially delicious. Lin Wanwan felt that he was really blessed today. Little pheasant stewed with mushrooms, steamed and raised mouth, there are so many fungus. Chen Zan lifted the fish ashore, passed the fish buckle through the fish's mouth, and then threw it into the water. For the next half an hour, Chen Zan kept tossing on the shore. Brother Niu and Rhubarb take the shade under the tree, while Lin Wanwan acts as a loyal spectator. Whenever Chen Zan catches a fish, he shouts 666 from the side. In this half an hour, Chen Zan was able to catch a fish 9 times out of 10 rods. This terrifying efficiency makes a group of anglers look stupid. Just watched Chen Zan continuously catch perch, mandarin fish, and silverfish from the Moon River. They felt that Chen Zan was not here to fish, but to buy goods. Chen Zan once again tossed his pole, the fake bait fell into the water, and the line slowly closed. A few seconds later, the fishing line tightened again, and everyone was numb. This one is not small. Chen Zan's eyes are colorful. The huge pulling force from the fishing line allows me to clearly perceive that this fish is huge. Compared with the previous fish, this fish has a surprisingly large power gap. The biggest one I caught before was just over 10 catties, and this one, at least 30 catties, or even bigger. Chen Zan's tone was full of excitement, but the muscles of his arm holding the fishing rod were already tense. And he didn't dare to pull it too hard. Treating some smaller fish can directly pull ashore violently. But once the fish is too big, it is easy to break the line and burst the rod. This kind of time is the time to truly show Luya's technology. Slowly retract the fishing line, adjust the unloading force to a moderate level, and continue to take up the line when the fish's momentum slows down. Repeatedly wrestling with the fish until the fish completely slipped over. At this time the fish can be easily pulled ashore. Everyone looked nervous, even those who didn't know how to fish, watched Chen Zan keep pulling up the line, watching the line that had just been taken back and being dragged out by the fish, for fear that the line would break in the next second and the fish ran away. After slipping like this for 5 or 6 minutes, Chen Zan said, "I can feel that the fish has no strength. Let me see how big this fish is." Swish! The fishing line was reclaiming at a constant speed, and the big fish gradually surfaced. When it was about 10 meters away from the shore, an outline could already be seen. The drone flew over and shot from top to bottom. Netizens saw it earlier than Chen Zan. When they saw clearly what the fish looked like, they were puzzled. "What kind of fish is this? I think I have been fishing for more than 10 years, but I can't even recognize it." Those who don't know will be counted as protecting animals. As the fish continued to land, Chen Zan also saw clearly what the fish looked like. "This is..." Chen Zan's face was faintly weird. "Yellow-lipped fish. Yellow-lipped fish. It's really a yellow-lipped fish. Brother Chen, you are finished. This horse riding is a first-class protected animal." "Ha ha ha, cow, I caught the protected animal." "Crack, police sir, there are people fishing to protect animals." Chen Zan looked at the yellow-lipped fish being pulled to the shore, a little bit dumbfounded. This fish is about 40 catties, 70 to 80 centimeters long, with yellow eyes and orange lips and fins. But most people don't recognize it. Quite simply, this is a first-class protected animal, and the number is very small. Not even many fishermen have seen it, let alone ordinary people. "This is really a yellow-lipped fish." Fu Ying opened her mouth slightly. Ma Jingyao tutted. "This is a national first-class protected fish. Fortunately, he caught it unintentionally, otherwise, you have to be invited in for tea." Chen Zan squatted down, took off the hook on the fish's mouth, and said, "This is a yellow-lipped fish. It is a first-class protected animal. It can't be offended. Uncle, please go quickly." He pushed the yellow-lipped fish gently into the water, and the yellow-lipped fish's tail swept lightly and swam toward the deep water. Chen Zan got up and said, "You may not recognize this fish, but it doesn't matter. You only need to remember one sentence. The stranger it is, the longer the sentence will be. If you don't know it, let it go. This is the safest way." Quote. I learned. Brother Chen, just ask if you panicked just now. It must be flustered. I guess Brother Chen was scared to pee just now. Ha! Chen Zan threw it out again, and said while winding up the line, "It's a pity, if this guy didn't protect animals, this one could sell for 700,000 to 800,000. How much? Can a fish sell so much? Is this guy so valuable?" Everyone was shocked at the time. Chen Zan said, "The yellow croaker has several brothers, the common large yellow croaker, small yellow croaker, plum boy fish, rice croaker, yellow croaker, and the rare yellow-lipped fish and scorpion fish, which are called 7 yellow croakers. The 7 brothers have the same special feature, that is expensive. Especially yellow-lipped fish. This thing is very expensive to be fired in the underground market. It can sell for 15,000 to 20,000 per catty. Just now the fish is about 40 catties, and it is not a problem to sell it for 700,000 to 800,000. Quote. But, Chen Zan's conversation changed. "We must be law-abiding citizens, no matter how expensive the fish is, we can't do this. Protecting wild animals starts with me. Brother Chen, don't suppress it, release the true self in your heart." Brother Chen absolutely regrets it. It's useless to regret. Who made this a live broadcast? Suddenly want to laugh, what's going on? So, Brother Chen lost 700,000 or 800,000. I am in a great mood, I can eat 3 bowls of white rice today. Ha! At this moment, Chen Zan raised his pole again and caught the fish again. "Good guy, this one is bigger." Chen Zan whispered, "I'm afraid it's not another yellow-lipped fish. The power coming from the fishing line is much greater than just now. That is to say, he is strong enough, and if he is replaced by another person, the first wave of the impact of this fish can drag an adult into the water." Buzzing. This is the taut fishing line, the sound made by the fish when it is dragged across the air. And this sound is also the favorite of anglers. This sound is so cool. I have fished for Luya in 3 years, but Chen did not catch as many fish in a day, so desperate. Resources, 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 what Luya values most is resources. Without fish, no matter how good your technique is, no matter how complete your equipment is, it will be useless. When I say this, my heart is balanced. This fish is really big. Chen Zan sneaked for more than 10 minutes before finally feeling that the fish's struggle was a little bit weaker. He began to wind up the line, but the fish never came out of the water. Even if the drone flew past, everyone could not see anything. It wasn't until 2 meters away from the shore that Chen Zan was abruptly raised to the surface. When the fish came out of the water, the corners of Chen Zan's mouth twitched instantly. The body surface is black, the head is long and the snout is pointed, and there are 4 snouts in front of the mouth, and the mouth is on the ventral surface. This turned out to be a Chinese sturgeon. How can I catch all these things when I ride a horse? Chen Zan is going crazy. It's another first-level protected animal. Chen Zan squatted down, took off the hook with a wry smile, and touched the weak Chinese sturgeon that had been slipped away and said, "Uncle, hurry back, I'm afraid I can't bear it for a while. I will throw you ginger in the pot." Sending away the Chinese sturgeon, Chen Zan said, "Flick the last rod, you won't catch it if you don't catch it." Ha! Throwing a rod for more than 70 meters, Chen Zan slowly took up the fishing line. Ha! Hung up. Suddenly, the fishing line broke, as if hanging on a rock at the bottom of the river, motionless. Chen Zan frowned slightly. The last pole is still hanging down, which is unlucky enough. He pulled hard a few times, but still didn't move. In this case, you can only pull it hard until it breaks. Seeing Brother Chen hanging on the bottom, a comfortable batch. Hang the bottom line and go home. This process must be completed, otherwise it is not a complete fisherman. Hey, it's more comfortable to look like this. Sunday, a group of bad guys won't see Brother Chen catch a big fish. At this time, a sharp voice, a huge force, came from the fishing line without warning. The fishing boat went crazy. "Big fish," Chen Zan yelled, clutching the fishing rod tightly, and said in excitement, "This fish is huge, definitely more than 100 catties." 100 catties. There is still such a big fish in the Danshui River. Nonsense, there must be. The yellow-lipped fish just now was over 40 catties. You must know that the yellow-lipped fish can grow up to 200 or 300 catties. The Chinese sturgeon just now has 70 or 80 catties. The largest Chinese sturgeon can grow to more than 1,000 catties, and the one with more than 100 catties is just like a cow's hair. 100 catties are actually not heavy, but it is still rare to be able to catch such a big one. I feel that Brother Chen will not be able to carry it. What's the joke? My Brother Chen can pull Brother Niu with one hand, but I can't hold a fish. Brother Chen can hold it, but the fishing rod and fishing line can't hold it. The time to test the technology has arrived. Brother Chen resists, don't resist. Chen Zan said, "I don't have enough equipment, so the technology is here. Since this fish dares to bite my hook, don't even think about leaving, let's see how I can pull it ashore." Fishing for big fish is the most challenging technique. Chen Zan keeps controlling the fishing rod to maximize the fishing master's ability. Every time the fish rushed out, the curved arc of the fishing rod felt like it would break at any time. However, Chen Zan can easily control it. After slipping like this for about 30 minutes, Chen Zan finally pulled the fish to a distance of about 5 meters. However, just when everyone thought it was safe, the fish suddenly began to exert its strength again. There was no sign of this, a sudden eruption, pulling the fishing rod to a limit arc, and then with a pop, the fishing rod broke. "Bite my hook and want to run." Chen Zan reacted quickly. The fishing rod broke for a moment, and he immediately jumped out. The fish was only about 5 meters away from the shore. After this jump, it instantly jumped to the surface of the lake 5 meters away. At this moment, the fish also surfaced, revealing its true face. The black scales bulge outward, and there are 2 horny layers like armor on the back, which are very sharp. The overall outline is about 2 meters long, and it is very huge under the water. When the drone captured this scene, the live broadcast room suddenly became quiet. This is a crocodile. The crocodile. Chen Zan saw it too, and he was going crazy. "I caught a crocodile by riding a horse. Where does this crocodile from Moon River come from?" But he calmed down quickly. With a Huff, he was impartial and landed on the back of the crocodile. He reacted for the first time, pinching the crocodile with his feet and strangling the crocodile's head with both hands. Feeling the external force, the crocodile was also struggling frantically, turned his head and opened his mouth wide, trying to bite the two-legged beast. Netizens also reacted. I'm fascinating. Crocodile. This horse is a crocodile. Brother Chen is getting cold. Hurry up and call the police. It's over. Brother Chen is really going to end this wave. If you catch a crocodile by fishing, this is such an explosive character. The live broadcast room exploded directly, and the online skyrocketed for a while. The program group was also a little nervous. The accident came so suddenly that no one was prepared. The point is, who can think of it, there can be crocodiles in this ghost place. Chen Zhan's luck, is it good or bad? Wang Dao was lost. Say he was unlucky, he caught so many fish, he could catch fish almost every shot out. Said that he was lucky, and he caught 3 protected animals in a row, 2 first level, and 1 endangered. What's more, even the crocodiles were caught. Lin Wanwan also stared blankly. That seems to be a crocodile. She was in a hurry, found a stone from the ground, and ran to the shore holding the stone, trying to target the crocodile and smash it. But Chen Zhan was also on the crocodile, and she was afraid of hitting Chen Zhan. Wow! Rhubarb saw Chen Zhan jump down, yelled a few times, and was about to jump down. At this time, Chen Zhan's voice came over. Don't come over, I'll do it. A crocodile is just a ball. He lay on the back of the crocodile, his body surfaced, looked at the drone hovering in front of him, smiled and said, don't worry about me, although this is a crocodile, it's the smallest crocodile. Alligator. This kind of crocodile lives in the Yangtze River, especially in Huizhou, where there is a Chinese alligator nature reserve. All the Chinese alligators that were released before were all not far from here. I didn't expect that I would catch one today. Chen Zhan was also taken aback when he first saw the crocodile. Not afraid, but strange. After all, the probability of encountering a crocodile in China is negligible. But recognizing that this was a Chinese alligator and the location of Moon River, Chen Zhan suddenly realized why there was a crocodile here. Everyone must remember that if you encounter a crocodile in the wild, you must not approach it. All you need to do is to run with all your strength. The crocodile is an animal that explodes very fast at short distances. Few animals can hide. Furthermore, the horrific death rolls of the crocodile, few animals can bear it. Even if the lion meets it, you have to retreat. But it's a pity, it met me today. Speaking of this, Chen Zhan suddenly reached out his right hand and leaned towards the crocodile's head. A crocodile's housekeeping skill is death and rolling. Therefore, the easiest way is to hold its mouth so that it cannot bite. Can't roll over. Snapped. Chen Zhan's hand reached out and caught the crocodile's mouth accurately, and the tiger's mouth closed forcefully, clasping the crocodile's mouth firmly. The crocodile only felt that his mouth was sealed by a terrifying force, and could not open it no matter how hard it was. Am I special? Am I special? Am I special? It's crazy. Brother Chen, are you really afraid of death? I was so courageous when I was 18 years old. I am 18 years old this year. Everyone looked stupid, but that was the mouth of a crocodile. After grabbing its mouth, you can jump off its body at this time. Chen Zhan slowly squatted on his back, then exerted a slight force on his feet, and jumped into the water and came to the opposite side of the crocodile. Grab its mouth frontally, because the crocodile has shorter legs, so as long as you keep this position, its paws won't catch you. The next step is very simple, just push it directly to the shore. What Chen Zhan said is simple, but it is easier to do. I saw him grabbing the crocodile's mouth and slowly pushing towards the shore. The crocodile was struggling all the way, but no matter how hard he struggled, he couldn't get rid of Chen Zhan's hand, nor could he violate Chen Zhan's will. No way, everything is a joke in front of absolute power. This, simply, I see, it turns out that you can subdue the crocodile if you have a hand. The video of martial arts practice in the early years is really hammered. It's terrifying arm strength and grasping power. That's the crocodile's mouth. It can't be opened by pinching it. It's so abnormal. I feel that if it weren't for the live broadcast, Brother Chen could kill this crocodile with one punch. Everyone was dumbfounded. This is a crocodile. Even the smallest Chinese alligator is still a crocodile. Humans want to subdue a crocodile with their bare hands, it is simply a fantasy. But someone really did it today. Rhubarb was a little anxious on the shore, and Brother Niu ran over. Everyone also watched nervously. Without going ashore, the crocodile might break free at any time. And the crocodile's bite force is quite terrifying, they don't think Chen Zan can hold on for a long time. 10 seconds later, Chen Zan swam to the shore, and then climbed onto the shore under the eyes of everyone's heartbeat. It's safe. Brother Chen has gone ashore alive. Oh my god, my forehead is sweaty when I look at it. Chen Zhe Niu Bian, since today I am the #1 brainless dog licking under Brother Chen's seat. Subduing the crocodile with bare hands, so I can blow for a lifetime. 3 cups of wine. I rewarded 100 Buddhas who jumped off the wall, and left a message, kneel to Brother Chen. Tiger Mountain Tour. I rewarded 100 Buddhas jumping off the wall, and left a message, this scene is really exciting, so enjoyable. Master Chow. I rewarded 100 Buddhas who jumped off the wall. A wave of rewards like rain, madly smashed, covering the entire live broadcast room. After Chen Zan landed ashore, he grabbed the crocodile's mouth with one hand and lifted the 2-meter-long crocodile in a very relaxed posture, just like a chicken cub. After walking for more than 10 meters, Chen Zan released his hand and threw the crocodile on the ground. Wow! Rhubarb shouted at the crocodile. Moo! Brother Niu also looked down at it. The crocodile lay on the ground, raised his head, the thief with the open mouth was big, and kept this position motionless. Brother Chen, are you okay? Lin Wanwan patted his chest, feeling lingering. Just that moment, she really scared her. It's okay. Looking at the broken fishing rod on the ground, Chen Zan said with a toothache, it's a pity that this rod is more than 3,000 yuan. It's fine if people are okay. Lin Wanwan comforted, and immediately pointed to the crocodile. Brother Chen, does the crocodile want to bite the rhubarb? Chen Zan looked at the crocodile with his head up and his mouth open, and shook his head. That is the defensive posture of the crocodile when it meets danger. To put it simply, he was scared by the big yellow and Brother Niu. Moo, Niu Zhe, doesn't seem too smart. Wow, rhubarb, what kind of toad is this? Chen Zan shook the water off his head and walked to the crocodile. The crocodile's open mouth was directed at Chen Zan. Don't hold your mouth wide at me. Chen Zan twitched the corner of his mouth. You are a crocodile, what are you okay with? The fishing rods are all broken. If you weren't protecting animals, you would be stewed today. After muttering a few words, Chen Zan suddenly wanted to see what was thinking in the crocodile's mind. So he peeked with his right hand and grabbed the crocodile's mouth again with a pop. The crocodile touched the ground and wanted to run, but Chen Zan's hand was as strong as Mount Tai, and it couldn't move under pressure. Chen Zan put a hand on the head of the crocodile, and he felt the thoughts of the crocodile carefully, to see if there was any chance of tame. Under the power of the trainer, he soon felt the idea of a crocodile. Crocodile. Chen Zan. What the hell is the ellipsis? He felt that something might be wrong, so he let go, waited 2 seconds, and then pressed it. Crocodile. Chen Zan. Kneeling down, the animals with the ellipsis can't offend, all these things are killers of unreasonable feelings. Chapter 91. The crocodile has a small brain capacity, and is a cold-blooded animal, and its thinking is too monolithic. For this animal, just feeding it Kaiji pill is a waste. And even if it is domesticated, Chen Zan can't raise it. This is so special to protect animals and cannot be kept by individuals. The most important thing is, why keep it? Look at the ellipsis every day. Isn't bull riding fragrant? Isn't it fragrant to bring rhubarb into the mountains for hunting? Let's go. Chen Zan waved his hand a little disgustingly, but the crocodile still kept his mouth wide open, motionless. Obviously he didn't understand what Chen Zan meant. If you don't go, I'll go. Rhubarb, Brother Niu, gone. Chen Zan grabbed a basket of fish, as well as the dozen fish that had just been caught, and walked away. After walking for more than 10 meters, Chen Zan quietly turned his head and saw the crocodile's tail flicked, turning his head and rushing into the river. It seems that spiritual soil and genetic drinks should be used less in the future, which is surprisingly effective. These 3 protected animals today are undoubtedly attracted by the spiritual soil he threw in the lake last night, and they have been swaying in this area of water. He used the fake bait soaked in genetic drink to fish, and under the double blessing, he couldn't hold any fish. After half an hour, they went down the mountain and returned to the village. When he arrived in the village, he left a mandarin fish, a raised beak, and a base. Then he carried the remaining fish and knocked on the door from door to deliver the fish. Xiao Chen, what's up? Auntie, eat fish. Hey, this fish. I went to the Moon River to fish. Chen Zan stuffed a fish and walked towards another. After a round of delivery, Chen Zan went to the vegetable garden to pick up some dishes. Vegetables cultivated in the spiritual soil should be more emerald green. The faint taste of vegetables is also a different kind of vegetable, so that the population can live with fluids. These are just transplanted vegetables. If they are planted to grow vegetables, the effect is more than several times better. Just when he got home, Lin Wanwan greeted him, Brother Chen, is there anything I can do? You can just sit down, I'm busy alone. Chen Zan said with a smile. There are not a few dishes in total, and there is no need for help from others. Wash vegetables and kill fish and chickens. Wash the vegetables, cut them, and keep them aside. The fish is slightly marinated, one is steamed in a pot, one is braised in brown sauce, and one is reserved for future use. The pheasant is cut, placed in a large pot, and simmered directly over the charcoal fire. The cleaned fungus is all too from the middle, so just throw it in directly. After doing this, Chen Zan said, I'm going out to find something, you are here to help me watch the ignition. Oh well, Lin Wanwan was sitting behind the earthen stove, the fire shining from the small stove. The fragrance wafting from the cracks in the pot cover made her throat unstoppable rolling, and she kept swallowing saliva. It's really so fragrant. After a while, Chen Zan came back. He held a stone in his hand. Yes, it was a stone. Lin Wanwan thought he had read it wrong, but no matter how he looked at it, it was all a stone. With a pop, Chen Zan carefully placed the stone on the ground, turned around and went out again. After a while, I came back with a few more bricks in his hand. He will turn his head on top of each other and build a simple earthen stove in the yard. After setting it up, he grabbed the hatchet and the stone he had previously brought back. With a knife, it slashed at the cross-section of the stone. About the thick stone, Chen Zan cut out a thin piece. Then he chopped a few knives randomly, cutting melons and vegetables as simple as cutting the irregular stones into square shapes. Everyone has also seen that an ordinary hatchet, in Chen Zan's hands, can also display the sharpness of a magic weapon. Good knife technique. This hatchet is of good quality, so there is no chipping in the stone like this. I'll do this. Just take advantage of the stone's unresponsiveness and just slash it over. The speed of the knife is fast enough, the strength is concentrated at one point, and it is cut like this. As long as it is not sharp enough to reach a particularly outrageous level, it can basically be split easily. Chen Zan washed the split stones and placed them on the bricks. Bring the oil, salt, sauce and vinegar again, and put it aside. Brother Chen is going to cook with this. What's new in the boat? At first glance, it is high-end cuisine. Miss Sister has a good taste today. After finishing the preparations, Chen Zan returned to the kitchen, grabbed the washed fungus and placed it on the cutting board, then grabbed the kitchen knife and cut it off. The slices of fungus with moderate thickness are neatly lying on the cutting board. Cut the fungus slices, take out the last sea bass, scrape the scales to remove the internal organs, and simply dispose of it and place it on a plate for later use. All done, the fish and chicken in the pot are almost the same. The dishes seem to be busy, but in Chen Zan's hands, they are methodical and orderly. It's ready. Quote, when Chen Zan's voice sounded, Lin Wanwan, who was sitting behind the stove looking at the fire, reacted. She got up quickly, wanting to go and help, but she felt that she had nowhere to start. She even felt that she was a redundant role in the kitchen. Let's eat outside. Chen Zan came over and said with a smile, and moved the table to the yard, next to the brick stove. Then he glanced at the drone and said with a smile, it's the food session that everyone is most looking forward to. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Ghost look forward to it. Excessive. Blocked. Eating instant noodles, I shed sad tears. Chen Zan entered the house and brought up a dish. Little pheasant stewed mushrooms, steamed and raised your mouth. Broiled mandarin fish, clean fried bamboo shoots, clear fried. With so many dishes, there are only 2 people, which is very luxurious. It's so rich, I drool when I look at it. It's too much, 2 people cook so many dishes, it's a waste, it's a serious waste. I think, I can eat all these dishes by myself, and it shouldn't be wasted. Even living in the countryside, Chen Zhan's culinary skills have not fallen. The color, fragrance and taste are complete. The blue sky and white clouds, the green mountains and green waters in the distance, and the farmhouses behind them, under such a natural environment, although the dishes are exquisite, they give people a sense of being grounded in the homes of ordinary people. It's far from the superiority of those food shows. Come, eat, Chen Zhan shouted. Aha! Lin Wanwan was already hungry a long time ago, especially when it was so delicious, her belly was groaning. Wow! Rhubarb squatted aside, staring at the delicious food on the table. Chen Zhan filled it with rice first, caught up with some dishes, and handed it over. Eat it. The rhubarb chuckled and ate, and Niu, who was squatting on the ground in the distance, cast a contemptuous look, and even mooed. Niu will take you to eat grass next time. Rhubarb devotes himself to the food and ignores it at all. Chen Zhan didn't respond either, mainly because he didn't dare to respond. Brother Niu has never tasted his own cooking skills, but if he takes a bite, he has to rush over to beg for food now. Chen Zhan didn't dare to give it a taste, he was not stingy, he couldn't afford to feed it. The cow has to eat dozens of caddies of fodder for a meal. If you become addicted to eating your own food, you don't need to do anything in the future, so you can cook it every day. Therefore, Brother Niu despised, just let it despise. The most important thing is that Brother Niu is happy. Come on, eat vegetables. Yeah, Brother Chen, you can eat too. Don't worry, there are still a few dishes that are not ready. Ha, Lin Wanwan was puzzled. Chen Zhan grabbed a handful of pine needles and stuffed it under the brick stove just built to start the fire, and then slowly stuffed the dead branches. Light it up, and it quickly burned. Under the firewood's barbecue, the stone quickly became hot. I know, Brother Chen is going to fry the fungus. Brother Chen can enjoy it, too special. In the future, I must find a boyfriend who can cook. Chen Zhan picked up the plate and said, this plate is porcini mushrooms. It's the most delicious to fry. It is best to use butter for fragrant frying, which is fragrant and not greasy, especially for frying fungi. The 2 flavors can be perfectly blended together. But the conditions in the village are simple, there is no butter, so soybean oil is the same. He grabbed the oil bottle and dripped a few drops on the hot stone slab. Zitza! The oil fell on the slate and quickly heated up. Under the high-definition lens, you can clearly see the hot oil splashing around. Chen Zhan picked up the chopsticks, picked up the sliced porcini mushrooms, and placed them on the stone slab. Under the high-temperature frying, the fringe trembles up and down, and quickly changes color and shrinks. Under the high-definition lens, this is a scene of a blockbuster delicacy, which made netizens drool. It doesn't take too long to fry the fungus slices. I cut them very thinly. It takes about a minute or so to fry them. He sprinkled a layer of fine salt, and the thin slices of fungus, when fried, showed a golden royal color. Okay, fry it like this, you can eat it. He put the fried fungus on a plate and put it on the table. Come on, try it. Aha! Lin Wanwan pursed her lips. She wanted to be reserved, but this dish made her unable to be reserved. When the fungus enters, the unique rich fragrance of fungus blooms in her mouth instantly. At this moment, she feels that her soul seems to have been sublimated. It looks pretty good. Chen Zhan smiled and continued to cook. I can't stand it. This show is poisonous. It is strongly recommended to cancel the shooting of 3 meals a day in the future. Oh, looking at what Brother Chen and the others are eating, I feel that what I usually eat is pig food. Obviously very ordinary food, but Brother Chen made it look like I can't afford it. Wang Dao's few people are also unspeakable. The netizens saw the suffering, and they saw the suffering too. At this moment, everyone's stomach is grumbling and discussing. Chen Zhan was almost fried, and he picked up a slice and put it in his mouth. He closed his eyes and showed an expression of enjoyment. It's delicious, it's delicious. The fresh fragrance of the fungus and the fragrance of the vegetable oil are perfectly blended together. The natural delicacy gifted by nature to us does not need to add too many seasonings, otherwise it will destroy its unique taste. You only need to sprinkle a little bit of fine salt to experience the ultimate taste and deliciousness. Really, perfect. Chen Zan sighed and continued to eat. Everyone looked at his expression and listened to his evaluation, and they didn't know how much their saliva flowed. Soon, a plate of fungus was eaten cleanly by the two. It's really delicious. But you have to be restrained. There are so many delicious foods, you must save your stomach. With a slightly regretful expression, he picked up the prepared sea bass. Next is the sashimi fish fillet. Cooking is the same as fishing. What you enjoy is the process and the satisfaction at the entrance of the dishes. Chen Zan clasped the mouth of the fish with his left hand, letting the base hang in the air. Fried fish fillets, the most important step is to fill the fish. The fish must be thin, so as to retain the best taste and deliciousness. Chen Zan was holding the base in one hand, grabbing the kitchen knife, and turning his wrist. The kitchen knife danced dexterously in the palm of his hand. I saw lines of cold light and knife shadows constantly flashing out, and the perch in his hand was constantly filled with crystal fish slices thin as paper. Under his almost acrobatic skill, the pieces of fish that were sliced out constantly fell on the stone slab like a goddess scattered flowers, neatly arranged in a row, and the magical methods made people reluctant to blink. This sea bass itself is already very delicious, no need to put more seasonings, just add a little salt, which is enough. Quote, the fish is already golden on one side, turn it over and fry it a little bit, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's ready to eat. In the next half an hour, Lin Wanwan experienced what a real gourmet feast is. The delicacy of this delicacy made her want to dedicate the Tianlinggai to Chen Zan. Dishes have 5 flavors, eat and drink enough. Lin Wanwan took the initiative to wash the dishes. Chen Zan wanted to stop, but couldn't stop it, so she had to let her go. After finishing his busy work, Lin Wanwan took a rest for a while. It was not until 3 o'clock in the afternoon that Chen Zan took Brother Niu and sent Lin Wanwan to the town. Chen Zan turned around and went home after watching him get into the taxi. When he returned home, he added a few charcoal fires under the small casserole stewed with snake soup to keep it simmering all the time. In the evening, just as Chen Zan was preparing to cook dinner, a knock on the door suddenly sounded. Uncle Chen, Wang Bin shouted while standing outside the door. Coming. Chen Zan opened the door and asked, your father is back? Yeah, I just got home. Wang Bin's small face was full of joy. Snake soup is ready for you, come on. Aha. Chen Zan took him to the small stove. When Chen Zan opened the lid, the rich fragrance made Wang Bin have the urge to eat up on the spot. Take it back and you can eat it. It's best to finish the meal. It won't taste good when it's cold. Chen Zan exhorted. Yeah, thank you Uncle Chen. Wang Bin carried it with a rag and ran home all the way. On the internet, Chen Zan was once again on the hot search. Since the day Chen Zan came to Shengwang village, the hot search has almost never stopped. The hot searches in the past have almost all been dominated by celebrities. And now, these celebrities who spend money on hot search all the time, now they can't even buy it with money. The Marine Corps, which they have been cooperating with all the year round, told them directly that if you want to buy a hot search, you can, but you can only buy a position after the 5th place in the hot search. As for the top 3, don't even think about it. At least during the Chen Zan challenge, there was basically no hope. So although Chen Zan does not mix in the entertainment industry, his name is almost unknown in the entertainment industry. At this moment, the first hot search is occupied by the video of Chen Zan catching a crocodile with his bare hands. Below the video, more than 300,000 comments, all of them. What's even more outrageous is that these 300,000 comments are also a hot search alone. Comment area is all humiliated. This scene is simply a spectacle. At the same time, far overseas, this video was also posted immediately. Originally, the enthusiasm for Chen Zan and Niu Jie to break the marathon record yesterday has not completely subsided. This wave of videos of subduing the crocodile with bare hands has appeared again, and Chen Zan's popularity in overseas forums has reached an unprecedented height. This self-media Big V, just relying on these 2 videos, attracted more than 1 million fans. WTF. I have reason to suspect that this is a synthesized video. I once saw Master Pei subduing a crocodile with his bare hands. It doesn't seem to be difficult. No, these are 2 things. The crocodile killed by Bei is smaller than this one, and Bei is a crocodile killed in the woods, which is completely different from subduing a crocodile in the water. Not to mention, he did not kill dead crocodile, but catch it. The power of his arm is terrifying. I can pinch the crocodile's mouth with one hand so that it cannot be opened. I can't imagine how terrifying this power is. Is he really an ordinary human? I feel that I am not the same species as him. Why can't I live on YouTube simultaneously? I want to see this man in real time. Time soon arrived in the evening. Lin Wanwan had already returned to the company, and she immediately sent the contract for review. Because Dong Qi paid personal attention, it passed the review in less than 20 minutes after the contract was sent. Chen Zan was ready to take a rest at this time, and the audience in the live broadcast room gradually decreased. No one has discovered that there have been some minor changes in Chen Zan's account in the live broadcast room. After his name, there are 3 letters of SSS. What this means, tomorrow at the latest, everyone will know. Early the next morning, Chen Zan was woken up. He slept drowsily and heard shouts outside. Sitting up from the bed and awake for a few seconds, Chen Zan put on his clothes and stepped on his shoes to push the door out. As soon as the door was opened, the noisy sound was instantly amplified several times, and it fell into my ears very clearly. He looked out, and his voice seemed to be coming from the opposite field. What is this? Brother Chen got up so early today. I got up at 5 o'clock. Where's my rhubarb? Brother Niu is still asleep. I'm really lazy. I don't have the diligent consciousness of being a cow at all. Chen Zan walked out. It's very noisy outside. It seems that something has happened. I'll go out and have a look. Opening the courtyard door, Chen Zan saw a lot of villagers standing on the opposite ridge. The villagers were either holding hoes or sticks in their hands, and they were very excited, and they screamed and screamed from time to time. Chen Zan squinted his eyes slightly, and when he took a closer look, he immediately saw that there were several huge black shadows in the field directly opposite the group of villagers. That is, wild boar. Chen Zan was a little confused. Did the wild boar go down in the morning? The drone also focused quickly, and everyone could see clearly what was happening there. Whose pig ran out? Wild boar. This is a wild boar. I lost it. This wild boar is so big and has fangs. It's really big. These villagers don't want to die, they dare to get so close. Brother Chen, let them come back quickly, a group of wild boars with fierce fighting power. We have a saying here, called 1 pig, 2 bears and 3 tigers. The wild boars are going crazy. It's particularly terrifying. The big tree held by the 2 can be broken for you. It's true, but I think it's a bit exaggerated. Exaggeration is definitely an exaggeration, but wild boars must not be underestimated. Whether it is speed, power, or fangs, they are so crazy that 3 or 5 adults can't hold them. Suddenly, Chen Zan cursed. He stared at it for a while, and then realized that it was his field that was ruined by the wild boars. That field is full of vegetables that he has only transplanted for less than 2 days. Angrily surged in his heart, he turned and walked quickly toward the courtyard. At the same time, I guessed why this group of wild boars appeared here. Not surprisingly, he must have been attracted by the vegetables grown in the spiritual soil in his field. It's not news anymore that wild boars go downhill. Even downtowns and universities in many places have been visited by wild boars. But that kind of harm is not great. After all, that kind of wild boar runs down the mountain alone. But the wild boars in the villages that go down the mountain and spoil the crops are basically in herds. There have been cases where wild boars knocked over the old man and trampled to death. Therefore, farmers hate wild boars. What's wrong with Brother Chen? Should be scared. What's the joke? The crocodile can't scare Brother Chen. A few wild boars are scared just tens of meters away. Snapped. Chen Zan walked into the kitchen, grabbed the hatchet, turned and ran outside. Rhubarb and Brother Niu were awakened by Chen Zan. They came out of the room and looked at Chen Zan angrily. Rhubarb cried out, but didn't get a response. Brother Niu also shouted moo and stood up from the ground. Although the 2 of them have limited IQs, they can still feel it. Chen Zan seems to be very angry. They had never seen Chen Zan like this before, so they immediately chased after him. Brother Chen, what are you doing? Worry, aren't you going to chop wild boars? You can't do this with a knife. The wild boar skin is thick, and everything is fine. If you cut the wild boar skin with a knife, it is still intact. Believe it or not. 3 glasses of wine. Hey, Brother Chen got up really early today, what are you doing? Go to the mountains to chop bamboo. Brother Chen is going to chop the wild boar. 3 glasses of wine, chopping the boar. Brother Chen is fierce, wild boars dare to chop, move the small bench, and wait for Brother Chen to hunt. At this point, there were only a few 100,000 people in the live broadcast room. But the sudden appearance of the wild boar made the peaceful morning a bit unusual. The online of the live broadcast room is also suddenly elevated. Wu Tong frowned and said, he's not really going to cut wild boars, right? It's difficult, Xu Chengzhou said. The wild boar skin is very thick, and it is also very smooth. If you can't break the wild boar skin with a single cut, it may even cause pain in the tiger's mouth. In general, when you encounter wild boars in a village, the best way is to drive them away from a distance. Don't get close. Once you get close, you can easily irritate the wild boar. Once irritated, you will be attacked by the wild boar. But these wild boars are ruining the crops. Zhang Ting said. These crops are the basis for the survival of the villagers. Xu Chengzhou shook his head and said, this situation can only take care of one end. Human safety is more important than anything else. And now that the crops are ruined, you can go to the town to apply for compensation. Wait, Wu Tong stared at the screen suddenly, with a faint sound, and then his face was a little weird and said, these wild boars are ruined, like Chen Zan's field. Several people. Puff, it seems that it is really Brother Chen's Tian covering his face. I just said Brother Chen is so excited. I remember so many dishes. Brother Chen bought them for 2,000 yuan yesterday, right? Cooking is a trivial matter. The key is that this field was plowed by Brother Chen himself. At this time, the Magic City rented the house. The young man just woke up. The first thing was to open Chen Zan's live studio. He has developed this habit ever since his Chen Zan related videos uploaded on the external network received a lot of attention. Just opened, I saw dense barrage. He did not close, but slowly scanned the barrage and the latest message below. Through the barrage and messages, you can know what is happening in the live broadcast room, which can save him a lot of time. A few seconds later, worry. Brother Chen is crazy, right? The young man jumped up from the bed and stared at Chen Zan, who was carrying a hatchet. Through the barrage and messages, he knew what was happening at this time. Chen Zan's field was ruined by wild boars. And now, Chen Zan is planning to pick up the wild boar. His way is simple and rude, one person, one knife. Young people stopped brushing their teeth and washing their faces. They turned on their computers for the first time and opened multiple websites at the same time, both domestically and abroad. Then open the video editing software and wait anytime. Xiao Chen, your field has been ruined by wild boars. An ant was going to inform Chen Zan, and she just ran into Chen Zan, who was running oncoming. I saw it, Chen Zan said. Auntie, you guys go back quickly, I will settle this matter. After speaking, he ran up to the ridge. But where did the auntie listen? Although this wild boar is now in Chen Zan's field, it will run to other fields after a while. So this is not Chen Zan alone. The wild boar must be driven away, otherwise their fields will suffer. After dozens of seconds, Chen Zan was already standing on the ridge. At such a close distance, Chen Zan couldn't help taking a breath when looking at the wild boars who were eating vegetables frantically. There are 5 wild boars in total, all of which are adult wild boars. They are so big that he is amazed. On average, each wild boar has a body length of nearly 2.5 meters, and it grazes there like a hill. The villagers stood on the ridge about 30 meters away from the wild boar. Although they were holding agricultural tools in their hands, they did not dare to approach them. If it were just 1 or 2 wild boars, they would have been driven away by this group of villagers a long time ago. There are 5 wild boars, and all of them are gathered in 1 acre of land. Once they get close to their hands, they will inevitably cause the wild boars to counterattack. Everyone, don't move. Chen Zan muffled his voice. Stay away, don't get close, you back, I will solve it. He didn't know whether these wild boars came down the mountain to eat crops for the first time, or whether they were habitual offenders. However, Since they are surrounded by a group of villagers at this time and can calmly eat crops, it must not be the first time they have descended from the mountain. And this wild boar, which often goes down the mountain, is very, very refined and hardly afraid of people. How do you solve it? Xiao Chen, don't get too close, I have already called the police, and the police will come in a while. When the police arrive, they will be shot one by one. The villagers scolded angrily. Chen Zan shook his head. When the police arrive, these wild boars don't know how much crops they will waste. The county seat is 20 to 30 minutes away by car. Moreover, the car can only be parked on the highway, and it takes half an hour for people to come over. In other words, it will take at least an hour before the police can rush over. By that time, the vegetables in his acre of land could be eaten without even the roots left. He didn't feel sorry for him, but once his acre of field was eaten up, the wild boars would continue to eat the crops of other farmers. Besides, it was just a few wild boars, he really didn't care about it. Little Chen. The villagers just wanted to talk. Chen Zan had already carried the hatchet and ran out along the ridge towards the other end. He needs to distance himself from these villagers. If there are only 1 or 2 wild boars, he doesn't need to do this at all. But here, there are 5. And he knew that no matter how he persuaded, these villagers would not leave. Therefore, if he wants to solve this group of wild boars, he must be careful and must not let this group of wild boars hurt people. Chen Zan quickly walked around to another field ridge, holding the hatchet tightly, staring at the wild boar and said, "Many people have a misunderstanding about the wild boar. They think that the wild boar is huge in size and very slow to move. In fact, this is not the case at all. The speed of a wild boar can reach a maximum of 60 kilometers per hour. It is definitely a veritable athlete, especially the speed under short-distance bursts, even compared to the cheetah, which is known for its speed, is not weak at all. So, if you encounter wild boars in the forest, it is best not to provoke them. Because wild boars are social animals, once you encounter them, they are all herds. Unless you are lucky enough to explode, you just happen to meet a single wild boar, and you still have it in your hand. If you have a weapon, then you can try to hunt it down, maybe you have a certain chance to succeed. If you have no weapons and no experience, the best way is to leave the boar territory quickly. Chen Zan has jumped out of the field at this moment, slowly approaching the wild boar herd. This group is Eurasian wild boar. It's very big, beyond my imagination. As Chen Zan approached, he calmly analyzed. Their body length is 2.5 meters and the weight may have exceeded 200 kilograms. This is a very scary figure. The average wild boar is only 100 to 150 kilograms. Unless you encounter tigers, lions, or large beasts like brown bears, otherwise they have almost no natural predators in the forest, and even wolves are vulnerable to them. Even the most experienced hunter who bumps into a herd of wild boars in the forest will never choose to confront them head-on. This is very unwise. But, Chen Zan's eyes condensed, and the front of the conversation turned, and he said utterly, "I can." When the voice fell, Chen Zan suddenly quickened his pace and rushed towards the wild boar group 30 meters away. The wild boars are dead, and this group of wild boars must be overthrown today. What's wrong with the sudden feeling of blood rushing to my head? Isn't this riding a horse burning better? In just 10 minutes, the number of online in the live broadcast room rose from more than 600,000 to more than 3 million. A group of netizens, under Chen Zan's self-confident and crazy behavior, only felt a surge of blood in their hearts. All of a sudden, the barrage was like a tide, and the rewards were like a torrential rain, frantically scrolling the screen in this small live broadcast room. The entire Kitten platform, daily gift list, click list, online list. Chen Zan took the first place in all major rankings. Those other challengers who have just gotten up are also accustomed to surnames. First, take a look at Chen Zan's live room and want to see his live room online data. However, at this look, they were all startled. At this point, city more than 3 million online. The rewards of dozens of yuan, hundreds of yuan, floated around in the live broadcast room, and they were dazzled to watch. Even a reward of thousands of dollars, or even tens of thousands of dollars, can occasionally be seen. They felt that money is no longer money. And when they watched after shielding the barrage, they even took a breath. This guy, what is he doing? He was too impulsive, Wu Tong said nervously and worried. Although he has great strength, these are 5 wild boars after all. Through the screen, they can clearly see that the 5 wild boars have 2 curved and sharp fangs on both sides of their mouths. If you are stabbed by these fangs, you will definitely suffer serious injuries. The villagers on the ridge opposite, seeing this scene, all clenched their fists nervously. In the village below the field, Wang Bin and several children, carrying school bags, are about to go to school. They stood outside the house, waiting for the adults to drive the tractor over. But at this moment, they saw an unforgettable scene. That Uncle Chen from the big city, carrying a hatchet, rushed to the 5 huge wild boars in the field. Humans and wild boars are very different in terms of number and size. But that's it, they saw an indomitable momentum from Chen Zan's body. Even the 5 wild boars in front seemed to be unable to stop him. Wow! Rhubarb barked in the distance and ran towards Chen Zan. Chen Zan looked at it, raised his hand and pointed to the direction of the hillside. He spoke quickly and without chaos and said, "Go over there and block the way up the mountain for me." Wow! Moo! 1 dog and 1 cow, got the order, and ran towards the hillside for the first time. However, it was the huge movement of Brother Niu running that still couldn't make these wild boars feel the slightest panic. They still nibble the crops tastefully. Ta-ta-ta! Chen Zan stepped on the field and quickly approached. The dense footsteps finally made the group of wild boars look over. Ang Kai! The wild boar snorted, and his right front paw scratched the ground. Wild beasts have a very keen sense of danger. At this time, these wild boars felt a danger from the 2-legged beast that burst up. This danger makes them a little restless. Howl! The wild boar raised his head and howled angrily at Chen Zan. This is to warn Chen Zan not to keep approaching. Wild boars have a strong sense of territory, especially when eating. Once other animals approach, they will be attacked by wild boars. But no matter how they howled and warned, Chen Zan's speed never slowed down, which made the wild boar more uneasy. Their heads were slightly lowered, their front legs were bent, and their sharp fangs pointed towards Chen Zan, which was a very obvious attack posture. Brother Chen successfully attracted the attention of these wild boars. It's over, this posture is a precursor to the wild boar's attack. And as the distance between Chen Zan and the wild boar gets closer and closer, the contrast between the 2 bodies is also strongly arousing everyone's attention. So big. All go, why is this wild boar so big? Brother Chen, are you sure you want to chop it with that rusty hatchet? Fortunately, there is no comparison. With the comparison, people have discovered how big these wild boars are. 5 meters away, Chen Zan's speed skyrocketed again. Howl! The wild boar roared, and took the initiative to attack. The sharp fangs slammed into Chen Zan. With the terrifying explosive power of the wild boar and the 2 sharp fangs around its mouth, people have no doubt that if it collides head-on, the wild boar can directly penetrate the body of an adult man with an unusually relaxed posture. And all of this happened between the electric light and flint. A rare battle between humans and wild boars started without any mental preparation. Everyone's eyes didn't dare to blink, and they didn't even dare to take a mouthful of the atmosphere. It seems that if you breathe a little harder, it will affect Chen Zan. In their view, facing the siege of 5 wild boars, there is almost no possibility of avoiding them. However, in the next second, they changed their minds. When there were 2 meters left on both sides, Chen Zan grabbed the hatchet's right hand and raised it fiercely. Ha! The blade shone cold in the sun. He clenched the handle of the knife with both hands, accelerated in a straight line without avoiding it, showing a posture even more arrogant than a wild boar. Seeing that he was about to collide with the wild boar, Chen Zan suddenly kicked with his right foot and violently kicked the wild boar's jaw from the bottom up. With a bang, the power of this kick actually kicked the explosive wild boar into the air. The wild boar's head and feet, under the force of the explosive force of the surname, crossed the top of Chen Zan's head in a parabolic posture. At the moment when he passed directly above Chen Zan's head, Chen Zan's eyes suddenly condensed. With a ha, the hatchet in his hand was held high, and then he slashed hard. Puff! A cold light flashed in the live broadcast room. In the next second, the wild boar has been cracked. Boom! The wild boar landed heavily, blood and internal organs flowing all over the place. After killing him with a knife, Chen Zan didn't stay any longer, and immediately turned to the other wild boars that rushed up. Another wild boar spawned from the left, and 3 meters away, it rushed against the curved and sharp fangs, trying to pierce the human throat. Wild beasts have instinctive hunting abilities, and they clearly know that the neck is the most vulnerable place of an animal. This is not cleverness, but pure instinct. Humph. Chen Zan hummed heavily, still not avoiding it. He arched his back and leaned forward slightly. The whole person was like a cheetah about to hunt. He stepped heavily on the ground and rushed forward without retreating. 2 meters away, Chen Zan's right arm holding the hatchet was raised high, his arm muscles were knotted, which contained explosive power. Facing the oncoming wild boar, the hatchet was turned upside down in his hand and his hands were held backwards. Seeing that the wild boar was in front of him, Chen Zan held a knife and thrust his arms fiercely downward. Puff! The rusty hatchet pierced through the wild boar's heavenly spirit cap with a vigorous attitude. This huge force also made this wild boar's jaw stick to the ground instantly. The power of the hatchet is undiminished, and the entire handle of the knife is forked into the wild boar's head. More than a third of the blade pierced through the wild boar's jaw and sank into the mud. The hatchet nailed the wild boar to the ground like a long nail. Howl! Seeing this, the remaining 3 wild boars suddenly scattered like birds and beasts and ran towards the mountains. Brother Niu, rhubarb! Chen Zan yelled, grabbed the hatchet and pulled it out with a poof, then drew his leg to catch up. The wild boar is fast, and his speed is not slow either. With the combination of Grandmaster level stances and the improved physical fitness of the genetic drink, even if Chen Zan does not understand any light work, his speed is lightning fast. At a distance of tens of meters, he had caught up in less than half a minute. However, his energy is limited after all, and his doppelganger lacks skill. The 3 wild boars were inconsistent, and he could only catch up to one of them. 5 meters away, Chen Zan raised his right arm and raised his hatchet. He was grasping the right arm and body of the hatchet. At this time, it was like a bow drawn like a full moon. The head and feet were the tips of the bow. The body was like a tight bowstring. With the exertion of his waist, abdomen and right arm, the whole body showed a brutal force to the extreme. Under the superimposed force of the blasting speed, this hatchet was thrown out by him. Call out, ha! However, at a distance of more than 5 meters, the sound of a sharp hatchet breaking through the air shows how fast Chen Zan's knife is and how powerful it is. After a while, boom! A loud noise like an explosion erupted from the body of the wild boar in front of him. Under the horrified eyes of everyone, this wild boar, weighing more than 300 kilograms, was hit in the back of the neck by Chen Zan with a single knife. Under the violence, its neck was pierced by a hatchet, and this huge force even dragged its body for half a meter in the field before it stopped. Chen Zan kept walking, chasing another wild boar again. Half a meter away, he stepped on his feet suddenly, and his body rose into the air. When he jumped directly above the wild boar, his body slammed down. Boom! He stepped directly on the wild boar with his feet, and the wild boar felt his body was shocked by a mountain. This force was arrogant and unreasonable, and the strong limbs of the wild boar were crushed by this sudden force almost instantly. Boar fell to the ground, and the last wild boar that tried to escape to the mountain was also stopped by Da Huang and Niu brother. Brother Niu stomped on a front hoof, kicked the wild boar directly to the ground, and rolled several times. Rhubarb cooperated in tacit understanding and rushed up to bite the wild boar's neck as thick as a bucket. Puff! Under the strong bite force, the 4 canine teeth easily pierced the wild boar's fur, and the blood quickly dyed the rhubarb's hair. In the huge field, the needle drop can be heard quietly at this moment. The live broadcast room was also deadly silent. Standing in this acre of land, Chen Zan looked around. It was the corpses of 5 wild boars, and the smell of blood was very strong. The rhubarb has loosened the neck of the wild boar, 4 deep blood holes, blood gurgling out, the wild boar's body is still convulsing, obviously can't survive. Chen Zan maintained a concave shape looking at the sky at a 45-degree angle, motionless. The drone slowly rotated around him and flew, taking Chen Zan's body very tall. In the eyes of everyone, Chen Zan at this moment is like a god of war. I'm fascinating. Brother Chen, you are so handsome, and exploded. Between the lightning and flint, killed 5 wild boars. The wild boar is so uncut, is it? Too strong. Kick the wild boar with one kick. I would like to treat you as the strongest. The 7 billion strongest man, really hammered. It was the first time I saw a wild boar being kicked by a buffalo. Not only did Chen's cattle churn, but even the cattle he raised were so good. It's really human. How about the rhubarb? It's bitten to death directly after one bite. This bite force is simply going to heaven. 3 cups of wine. I rewarded 88 Buddhas jumping over the wall and left a message. Chen Jie Sai Gao, Chen Jie Mighty, Chen Jie Newbie. Tiger Mountain Tour. I rewarded 88 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message. I hate myself for not being a daughter, I hate it. The host and observers are also excited about watching. I thought Chen Zan was in a dangerous situation, but the situation turned upside down and turned into a slaughter. Are all the chefs now so terrible? Is this horse riding a bird? Just end it early. Can plow the ground, grow vegetables, distinguish between herbs and wild vegetables, and catch crocodiles. Now even wild boars that go down the mountain to destroy crops can easily be slaughtered. Even the orthodox farmer can't say that he can do like Chen Zan. He is almost a farmer than a farmer, and he can't justify not giving full marks. Just as everyone in the live broadcast room slowly calmed down, a reward suddenly appeared, pulling the calm down everyone's emotions once again. Kitten rewarded 1,000 Buddhas jumping over the wall, and left a message. Congratulations to Brother Chen for joining the Kitten platform and becoming the first SSS anchor of the Kitten platform. As soon as this reward appeared, the live broadcast room was quiet for 2 seconds. 2 seconds later, more than 3 million people in the live broadcast went crazy. How much is this horse riding? 1,000 Buddhas jumped over the wall, 1 million in cash. Brother Chen signed a contract. What is the SSS level? Doesn't it mean the highest S level? When I went, I found out that Brother Chen's state has changed. When did it happen? I found out last night. I thought I was wrong. I see, it's the young lady yesterday, she's an employee of Kitty. Brilliant, Brother Chen has become a major anchor contractor. The key is to surpass the S-level anchor. I just want to know, how much money can SSS get in a month? It was Wu Tong and Zhang Ting, they were not surprised at all. The Kitten platform and Chen Zan signed the contract. I told them in advance. After all, they can be regarded as a cooperative relationship. It is obviously inappropriate to sign a challenger without telling them. To be honest, they are envious of Chen Zan in their hearts. The original intention of running this show was actually to take this opportunity to show ordinary occupations in everyone's eyes. They never thought that someone could shine in such an ordinary profession. Nowadays, the program group has long become the #1 existence of TV stations and internet ratings. However, they know very well that this program can have the current high ratings and popularity. Basically, it can be said that Chen Zan alone brought it up. Little Chen. The villagers ran over and looked at the wild boar corpses all over the floor. Tusk. Are young people now so reckless? Are you okay? It's okay. Chen Zan smiled. It's just a bunch of pigs. Everyone. This is a wild boar, but not a domestic pig. Why can you say so easily? Chen Zan said. Get the wild boar down first. He bent over and grabbed a wild boar leg, flicked it casually, and threw it on Brother Niu's back. The eyes that everyone looked at almost stared out. 300 to 400 caddies of wild boars are as light as a leaf in his hand. One end, 2 ends. Losing 3 heads on Brother Niu's back cost more than 1,000 caddies, but Brother Niu didn't feel heavy at all, so he carried him down the mountain. Chen Zan picked up the remaining 2 wild boars with one hand and walked down the mountain. The villagers wanted to say to help, but when they saw this scene, they didn't say anything. Xiao Chen's strength is really big. No, didn't you see how the wild boar was slaughtered just now? One knife with one knife, another with 1 foot, and the other end was directly trampled to death. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they wouldn't believe that the wild boar was so weak. When they reached the bottom of the mountain, Wang Bin and several children ran over, looking at Chen Zan's eyes full of admiration. Uncle Chen, you are amazing. It's okay. Chen Zan smiled. Hurry up and go to school, and come back to Uncle to cook wild boar for you. A few children circled around Brother Niu, and only at close range did they discover how old the wild boar was. When they left, Chen Zan didn't enter the house either. He stood outside the courtyard and said to a group of villagers, let's divide the wild boar. That won't work, you caught this wild boar, what shall we divide? No such statement. Well, I'll buy some, which saves me going to the county to buy meat. The villagers shook their heads. Although they looked greedy, no one could do such things for nothing. Chen Zan took the wild boar from Brother Niu's back, threw it on the ground, and said with a smile, you don't need to think it's bad to take it. I can't finish eating so many wild boars by myself, and when it's broken, it will be broken. It's also a waste. In this way, everyone will share points together and help me rectify the field. This wild boar will be your reward. That's not worth so much. Okay, it's settled. Chen Zan mentioned a wild boar and said, these 4 are divided by yourself, and I won't tidy up for you. With so many wild boars, he would definitely not be able to eat them all by himself. Forget it if you sell it, he doesn't lack this money. And this group of villagers are also particular about it, and there is nothing to take advantage of carefully. These villagers were very embarrassed, but seeing Chen Zan so determined, they did not refuse, even if they accepted this favor. Brother Chen is really generous, this is 4 wild boars. Otherwise, is it possible to sell it? It can be sold. It is definitely not a problem to sell 2 or 3,000 at will. These 4 are also worth more than 10,000 at least. The key point is that Brother Chen didn't lack the money. He gave the wild boar to the villagers, and instead gained a good reputation, and this group of villagers are pretty good. Back at home, Chen Zan took out the twine and said, this wild boar, even if we remove the internal organs, we can get 200 caddies, enough for me and rhubarb for a month. Brother Chen, you don't have a refrigerator at home. Buy if you don't have it, Brother Chen doesn't need money. Brother Chen, sell me the hatchet in your hand, and I will mail you a refrigerator. The pigs are dead, what are you doing with the rope? Shouldn't it? I lost it, I get it, there are pictures in my mind. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Chen Zan tied the hemp rope to the wild boar's hind legs, and then dragged it under the courtyard door and said, I am going to cut this wild boar first. I will also teach you how to cut a wild boar. First, tie up the 2 hind legs of the wild boar, and find a place to hang it in the air. He stood under the courtyard door, threw out the hemp rope in his hand, went around the door beam, and pulled the wild boar up. At this time you can move the knife. He grabbed the hatchet and played a knife in his hand. First, cut open the carotid artery, let the blood, and after the blood is drained, usually start from the 2 pig claws and cut the pig skin along the leg to the pig belly, cutting and peeling. When it comes to the forelegs, separate the 2 sides, peel off the skin on the forelegs, and finally grab the skin from the back of the pig and tear it down, peeling off the whole pig skin. In this way, the whole skin is peeled off. Seeing Chen Zan relaxed, and within 5 minutes of talking and laughing, he cleaned up a wild boar for cooking. Netizens looked stupid. Mom asked me why I was kneeling. Mom is kneeling with me. Dad also joined the camp. My sister said my kneeling is not standard. Is this the chef? It's terrifying. The chef said he would not kill wild boars. Pang tong ahem, not every chef is so good. Next, Chen Zan continued to cut off various parts. Hoof, ribs, lard, pig offal. Chen Zan is like a skilled and superb executioner. The hatchet is even more commanding in his hand, pointing where to fight. However, because of his high skill, it took nearly an hour to solve this wild boar completely. He left spare ribs and pig intestines, packed the rest together, and carried them to the aunt's house next door, and put them in the refrigerator in the maternal house. As soon as I got home, the police came. On the way here, the police had already learned that the wild boar had been dealt with. They were a little dazed at the time, but only after the villagers explained what happened. So they found the live broadcast room and watched the replay. After reading it, people were shocked. Come here now, just a routine inquiry. Also take a look at this awesome challenger. On the other side, the young man in the rental house just edited this video. Looking at the edited video, the young man smiled with satisfaction, then took the title and posted it simultaneously on several website forums at home and abroad. A person, a knife, the early practice video of the great Shah warrior. Close double angle bracket. Domestically, it's just 8 o'clock at the moment. Although Chen Zan slaughtered wild boars, the number of online in the live broadcast room jumped to more than 3 million. But after all, it's too early, and many people haven't gotten up yet. When the young people posted the video, those netizens who could not catch up with the live broadcast watched the edited video and enjoyed a visually violent aesthetic. The editing level of the young man is very high. It is obviously to slaughter wild boars, but he edited it like a martial arts blockbuster. Worry, is this true? That's so exciting in the morning. Watching the live broadcast, it's great. Ha ha ha, this is the benefit of getting up early. The editing is really good, but there is one thing to say, there is no tension like watching the live broadcast. When I saw Brother Chen kick the wild boar flying, I was shocked. It's such a perverted force to kick the wild boar into the air. Foreign. The young man's account has millions of followers, and every time he releases a new video, it will be pushed to the followers' timeline as soon as possible. As a self-taught self-media person, he has a hunch that this video will definitely be a big hit. After the video was sent, he quickly washed, and then ordered a takeaway, then he sat at the computer desk and kept refreshing the background data. 5 minutes, 500,000 views, 80,000 likes, and 3,000 comments. In 10 minutes, the number of views exceeded 1,200,000 likes, and over 10,000 comments. After half an hour, the video was on the hot list. God, is this really human? I remember him, he was the man who slaughtered and caught the crocodile yesterday. What kind of knife is that? I ask for help from almighty netizens, I also want to buy such a knife. Based on what I know about Daxia, this should be a magical sword, a weapon that can only be used by martial artists in the legend. This knife should have engraved the formation. What is the formation? Formation, a very mysterious thing, I have seen it in Daxia's books. Ask what book it is. Panlong. I have also read this book. I heard that engraving the formation on the weapon can make the weapon sharper. Isn't it because this man himself is very powerful? 9:30. The head office of Kitten Live Broadcasting Platform. Chi Dong has come to the company. Earlier this morning, he was still asleep when he was woken up by the phone. After answering the phone, he learned that Chen Zhan's field was occupied by wild boars, and he was stupefied at the time. By the time he opened the live broadcast room, Chen Zhan had already got in touch with the wild boar. Originally, they planned to announce the news of signing with Chen Zhan this morning. But watching Chen Zhan almost cut one by one, kicked off the wild boar one by one, he immediately decided to promote it in the live broadcast room in advance. So there is a huge reward of 1 million cash. Now, after coming to the company, he convened a meeting as soon as possible. During the meeting, several important things were set for publicity. The first is that Chen Zhan signed a contract with the Kitten platform, and then the 1 million cash rewarded by the Kitten platform. Finally, the content of the SSS custom level contract. Not surprisingly, at least 2 or 3 days, their Kitten platform will be listed on the hot search. However, the heat is longer than they thought. For a full week, Chen Zhan and the Kitten platform can be seen in hot searches on various websites. A basic salary of 3 million yuan a year, 5% of the stock dividends, 91 gift sharing, the platform helps promote. Wait. Everyone's envious eyes are red. And this also allows other challengers to see hope. Although they are currently very ordinary, the gap with Chen Zhan is too big. But anyway, Chen Zhan let them see a possibility. As a challenger of the show, the upper limit is very high. In the blink of an eye, Chen Zhan has been in the village for 25 days. In 5 days, his challenge will end. He originally thought that this wild boar would be enough for him to eat for a month. But the fact is that on the 20th day, the wild boar had been eaten by him. To be precise, he didn't eat it up, but rhubarb. Rhubarb, you have to eat 10 catties of meat a day, which is more edible than pigs. This morning, Chen Zhan finished his station, had breakfast, looked at the sky, and decided to go around in the mountains. His everyday life is quite leisurely now. The fields destroyed by wild boars have long been restored with the help of the villagers. It's okay to water the vegetables, or ride a bull with rhubarb to go fishing in the Moon River. Otherwise, I would go to the mountains to pick up some fungus. I was lucky enough to catch a pheasant, so a good dinner would be there. This kind of life, in the eyes of everyone, is like heaven. Chen Zhan felt the same way. He even felt that time was passing too fast. Rhubarb, let's go. Chen Zhan skillfully pinned the hatchet to his waist, put the bamboo basket on his back, and walked to Niuji's toe a little bit, and he straddled Niu's back. Xiao Chen, come to the mountain. Slow down on the road. I watched the news. There was a tiger on the hill in the county town. Chen Zan smiled and said, that's the northeast. There are no tigers in the mountains here. Puff, tiger, this uncle is so funny. It's Mishan, northeast, separated by thousands of miles. If Brother Chen can meet a tiger in this ghost place, I definitely have reason to suspect that it was arranged by the show crew. The show crew is not such a dog. Separating from the villagers, Chen Zan sighed and said, Uncle still doesn't know me enough, let alone there are no tigers in this place. What if there are tigers? It should be the tiger that he should worry about, not me. Chen Zan shook his head, as if worried about him for the uncle, a little sad. Brother Chen, are you serious? Do you think that you can beat the tiger by turning the wild boar? The wild boar is a wild boar, and the tiger is a tiger. When the tiger slaps it down, you are still in Fengming Mountain, and your head has gone to Siberia. Since I went to the zoo to see tigers, I have had strong suspicions about Wusong's fight against tigers. I didn't go to the zoo, and I didn't believe that Wusong could beat a tiger. Entering the forest, Chen Zan decided to put on a noose and catch a pheasant to relieve his greed. Walking all the way into the mountains, Chen Zan jumped off his cow's back and grabbed a handful of dirt at random, but he had already mixed the earth into it. He picked some wild fruit and threw it on the ground, and then set up a simple noose. This kind of noose trap may seem simple, but it's not simple. The noose trap is not complicated, but where it is laid out is very particular about it. If you want to catch a pheasant, you have to find the pheasant first. Chen Zan Barabala talked a lot. After finishing the arrangement, he clapped his hands and stood up. I'll go to the river to catch 2 fish first. When I come back, there should be pheasants on the set. During this time, he put a lot of spiritual soil in this place. Set up noose traps a few times, and get results every time. He went to the Moon River for a circle, caught a few fish, hummed a little song, and rode Niu towards this side leisurely all the way. After more than 20 minutes, he returned here. Jumped off the cow's back and glanced at the noose trap from a distance. A fat pheasant, whose paws were trapped by the noose, was fluttering on the ground, but no matter how it fluttered, it couldn't escape. Chen Zan walked over, grabbed the pheasant, took off the rope, and tied the pheasant's wings. Go home and stew pheasant, Chen Zan said contentedly. Oh, I really want to eat pheasant too. I also learned from Brother Chen to use this kind of noose, because I can't catch a pheasant for Mao. First of all, you have to have pheasants. Nonsense, where there are no pheasants, is this stuff good everywhere? Didn't Brother Chen say that the second trap is to find the pheasant way first, otherwise the trap layout will be useless? Chen Zan threw the pheasant into the bamboo basket. Just when he was about to carry the bamboo basket on his back, the rhubarb that was not far away suddenly grew hairs all over his body and exploded, screaming frantically. Even Niu, who was eating grass, raised his big head and mooed. It was also at this time that Chen Zan's body was startled. His hair on his body was upside down, his expression changed drastically, and his completely instinctive body rolled forward on the spot. Roar, a violent roar that can make people feel scalp numb just by listening to the sound, spread from the quiet forest to this mountain. Bear, this is a black bear standing close to 2 meters. It didn't know when it was hiding in the forest, and suddenly rushed over from the grass 2 meters away. The target was Chen Zan, whose back was facing it. The moment captured by the bear's paw was clearly recorded by the lens. 5 sharp claws protruded from between the bear's paws, rubbing against the air when they were photographed, and even felt the whistling of the wind. As long as Chen Zan is a little slower, this paw will be slapped on his back, leaving 5 extremely deep paw prints. Tens of millions of people in the live broadcast room were all frightened by the black bear that suddenly broke into the camera without warning. There was a vacuum period in the barrage, and everyone was a little sluggish looking at the open mouth of the blood basin on the screen, and even the drool on the fangs could see the black bear clearly. On the other side, after Chen Zan rolled on the spot, he supported his hands on the ground and jumped back from the ground. Before landing, he wiped his right hand on his waist and pulled out the hatchet with a swish. He was squatting halfway, pressing one hand on the ground, and holding the hatchet tightly with the other, his eyes fixed on the black bear. This reaction speed was as fast as lightning, avoiding the black bear's pounce at the moment, making people's hearts almost jump out of their throats. This black bear doesn't speak martial ethics, so he attacked me. Chen Zan was a little upset. Don't look at him at the moment, but at that moment, he was also very scared, and a layer of cold sweat broke out on his back. At this time, netizens finally came to their senses. Where is the bear that popped up? Your dad and me are scared to death. My hand shook, and all the water spilled on the keyboard. Don't step on the horse concave shape. Run quickly, you won't be killed if you don't run away. Roar. The black bear opened his blood basin and yelled at Chen Zan. What are you yelling about? Chen Zan yelled, stood up from the ground, and yelled, sneak attack on me, and yell at me. Black bear. Chen Zan spit, glanced at the drone, slowly put the hatchet away from his waist, and said, I just ran into a bear today. I will also give you some common sense in simple science. I'm new here, so I just want to ask, has this challenger been so brave all the time? I didn't dare to watch it, I was afraid that it would become a horror live broadcast. Common sense. Simple popular science. The black bear was a little uncertain and didn't dare to step forward. It is the absolute overlord in this mountain. After all, in an area of Huizhou in the south of the Yangtze River, tigers have long been extinct, and there is almost no existence that can suppress them. But now, this two-legged beast, who is much smaller than himself, is not afraid of himself. This made the black bear wonder for a while whether to continue to pounce or turn around and leave. Chen Zan said, when you meet a bear in the forest, all you can do is pray that the bear is full, or that it is in a better mood. At the same time, you should also observe whether there are bear cubs around this bear. If not, congratulations, and your chances of survival will be greatly improved. If so, then congratulations. All my next suggestions, you don't need to listen. Once you encounter a bear with a cub, the bear will basically attack you, because in the bear's eyes, you threaten its children. And this bear, I didn't find it has any cubs. This shows that it should be a single bear. From its size, it can be seen that it is at least 5 years old, but it is still single. This is really sad. Everyone, Brother Chen, can you concentrate on running away? Do you know how terrible a single bear is? Wang Dao touched the sweat on his forehead. Chen Zan, he is really courageous. Ma Jingyao said, he should be grateful that Shang can't understand him. Zhang Jianmen twisted his eyebrows and said, this is not the time to make a joke. This is a bear, not a scab. I met in the forest and almost died. The program team has already contacted the local police, but Wang Dao said half of what he said, and stopped. Everyone knew what he was going to say. The last time the wild boar ruined the crops, the police had to come over for an hour. Besides, Chen Zan is still in the mountains now. If it is really dangerous, when the police arrive, only Chen Zan's body may be left. Bad luck, even the corpse can't be found. Wow, Rhubarb ran to Chen Zan and barked at the black bear. For nearly a month, Rhubarb drank a bottle of genetic beverage almost every day. His physical fitness was so strong that he was abnormal. The skeleton was also a big circle, and his appearance looked like a sturdy little calf. If you let Rhubarb meet a wild boar now, you can kill the wild boar with just one bite. Brother Niu also stared at the black bear. Its body is much larger than that of the black bear. With the improvement of the genetic drink, both power and speed are far beyond the black bear's ability. The only thing missing is the lack of the claws and sharp teeth of a black bear. But one force will drop for 10 meetings. If you really let Brother Niu and this black bear head to head, Chen Zan estimated that this black bear could be kicked off by Brother Niu. Roar. The black bear responded unwillingly, and landed on all fours, approaching Chen Zan vigilantly and slowly. Obviously, these two-legged beasts, as well as this cow and a dog, were not in the eyes. Chen Zan raised his brows. At this time, the black bear was getting faster and faster, and in the end he almost rushed over. Crack. The black bear's body is like a forest bug that ignores the terrain. It doesn't matter what weeds or trees you have, or thorns and branches, it directly rampages with its rough skin and conquer the wild road in the forest with a crushing posture. It is completely unreasonable. At a distance of 20 or 30 meters, he rushed all the way, and he was in front of him in the blink of an eye. Rhubarb and Niu were eager to try, and as soon as they were about to go up, Chen Zan had already taken a step ahead of them and took the initiative to greet them. I'm clinging together, Brother Chen is crazy. Do you really want to be tough? This wave. Brother Chen is on the 18th floor underground covering his face. It's all here. Give Brother Chen the incense before leaving. Everyone thinks Chen Zan is crazy, and normal people can never do such a thing. Even if it is a fighting nation, it also pays attention to a basic law. It's good for you. You can go when you see a bear, and it doesn't matter if you have done it or not. Roar. The black bear was angry. It felt that the two-legged beast was provoking itself. 2 meters away, the black bear opened its mouth wide, and its sharp teeth bit Chen Zan's head. If this bite is firm, Chen Zan might have to explain it on the spot. However, next second, snapped. Half a meter away, Chen Zan speeded up again with a stride, and slapped half of the black bear's face with a slap. The huge power made the black bear feel as if his head was crushed by a locomotive, rumbling, and it was down for 2 seconds. Immediately afterwards, before it regained consciousness, Chen Zan suddenly stepped forward, clasping its right front paw with his left hand, and pressing his right shoulder against its chest. Both hands and shoulders exert force at the same time to send forward. I saw that this huge black bear was thrown out by Chen Zan with a perfect shoulder crossing. It drew a beautiful parabola in midair, and then under the stunned eyes of everyone, it slammed it 2 meters away. The black bear slid and got up from the ground, and then ran away on all 4 legs without looking back. Chen Zan stared at the back of the black bear running away, raised his eyebrows and said, "Is that so courageous?" The live broadcast room is very quiet. Everyone looked at the black bear that got up and ran, and at one point they thought, was there something wrong with their eyes? Why is this black bear so wasteful? I have nothing to say, so I kneel in respect first. What a trash, you are a bear, you run a fart, it's Brother Chen who should run. What a fierce man, he really turned the bear over. The fighting nation sent a congratulatory message. So beautifully over the shoulder. Do you think it's incredible? It's actually very simple. A bear is also an animal. Its advantages are its paws and teeth. It can be thrown out easily. You seem to be teasing me. Do you think everyone is Brother Chen? Can Brother Chen take a shoulder fall and try another person? I guess he's already lying on the ground now. Wang Dao opened his mouth and said for a while, he threw the bear out. Zhang Jianmin was also stunned. He has been in the police all these years, and he really has never seen such a perverted person as Chen Zan. He is amazing. Concubine Lin's eyes lit up. This man is really amazing. Not only does he cook delicious food, he is also handsome, and his body is so good that he can explode. The side that is showing now is the explosion of the male surname hormone. Cat Company, Lin Wanwan came to Qidong's office for the first time. Qidong, look at this. Bear. Qidong was startled, his mouth was not closed in the next few minutes. Since Chen Zan unilaterally killed 5 wild boars, he knew that Chen Zan was very powerful, and it was not so powerful. But now when he saw him throw a black bear over his shoulder, and the black bear was scared away, he felt that he still underestimated Chen Zan. Qidong, Brother Chen is also very popular overseas. Lin Wanwan said, I have an idea. What do you think? You said, I think maybe we can set up a dedicated video account on the extranet to promote Brother Chen. Extranet. Qidong's eyes lit up. It's a good idea. Chen Zan is now abroad and has gained a certain reputation. This is the visibility he opened up when he refused the Michelin star rating. During this period of time, someone posted Chen Zan's video to the internet, allowing Chen Zan's popularity to increase at a rocket-like speed. However, the videos circulated abroad are very limited, not particularly many. Obviously, those videos are all personally produced. If they get an official account on their platform and edit Chen Zan's live content from time to time and publish them one by one, it will certainly continue to increase Chen Zan's influence. After the live broadcast entered the lives of ordinary people, many platforms also created some big anchors through the live broadcast. There are many big anchors who became famous overnight. And there are many big anchors, and their popularity is not weaker than that of first-line stars. But anchors are not celebrities after all. They don't have their own masterpieces. What makes them popular is the content of the live broadcast and their personal charm. It is very difficult to cross the line of work. This has directly led to the fact that even some well-known anchors can hardly receive brand endorsements. This is also a point of distress for many live broadcast platforms. And now, Qidong saw this hope in Chen Zhan. He felt that Chen Zhan might break this rule. Although Chen Zhan is not an internet celebrity, nor a star, but his popularity has reached the height of a first-line star, and even surpassed this height. If you go abroad, you can also have a certain degree of popularity on the internet, and maybe you can break the barrier of no works. After all, Chen Zhan is completely a phenomenon. You go there first, I'll arrange for someone to do this. Aha! After Lin Wanwan left, Qidong found the person in charge of propaganda and asked him to vacate a few employees to take charge of this matter. Although the young man who uploads videos on the internet is also professional, he is only one person after all. 7 or 8 people have been freed up on the Kitten platform here to produce videos, and there is a certain amount of promotion. In contrast, the gap is highlighted. The video of Chen Zhan's encounter with a black bear was quickly edited and released as soon as possible. As soon as the video was sent out, less than 10 minutes, the number of hits broke 1 million in an instant. This terrible increase in data made this group of staff look stupid. At one time, they thought it was because someone had fetched the wrong data. After they clicked on the comment area and took a look, they realized that it's not a review of data, it's true. Chen, you are my eternal idol. When I make money, I must buy a ticket to Daxia, and I am going to see my idol in person. It's scary. Is this Daxia's kung fu? I have reason to suspect that Chen can kill a tiger with one punch. You don't need a punch, just a kick, you can make the tiger lie on the ground. I even think that the power of Chen Yipu can kill an elephant. Don't doubt, he can, because he is Chen, a martial artist, and he has a weapon with engraved formations. Staff member, have you read too much fantasy novels for this group of foreign netizens? How can a hatchet engrave the formation? And what kind of remarks about punching tigers and kicking elephants? Why do you look so demented? There must be a limit to blowing. That horse is a tiger, not a cat. However, they can also see from these remarks that Chen Zhan is abroad and his fans are really large. This means that there is no serious publicity, otherwise, Chen Zhan's fans abroad will definitely not be much less than in China. To scare away the black bear, Chen Zhan did not rush back. He stared at the direction the black bear was running away, and the corners of his mouth suddenly twitched. It's this smile again. I have a bad feeling. Bear, danger. Brother Chen isn't planning to kill them all, right? Why do I worry about bears? Is something wrong with me? Chen Zhan patted the dust on his clothes and said, sneak attack on me, it's hard to justify running away like this. Brother Niu, rhubarb, keep up. Say hello, Chen Zhan is carrying a bamboo basket to keep up. The direction in which the black bear flees is very clear, coupled with Chen Zhan, the golden hunter's ability, can easily find the trace of the black bear. Brother Chen, let him go, he is still a single bear. It just wants to catch your pheasant, what can it have bad thoughts? Stop the procedure, just cried, and cherish the memory of this poor bear in advance. Everyone felt that Chen Zhan was really a lunatic, and it was too late for normal people to see a bear. He was better, not only did not hide, but took the initiative to follow. What's so good about this? Wang Dao and the others went from their initial worries to their current consternation. Watching a danger, Chen Zhan easily resolved it. And now, this guy is even more perverted, and he took the initiative to chase the black bear. Swish. Chen Zhan runs fast in the woods, but the black bear runs faster, and the black bear ignores the terrain and can drill anywhere. This is not very friendly to Chen Zhan. Some thorns are still very painful when they are scratched on the body. After tracking and searching like this for 20 minutes, Chen Zhan suddenly stopped. There is a fruit forest here. Looking at the low forest in front of him, Chen Zhan felt a hint of surprise. Looking around, there are many fruit trees in this area. It is estimated that black bears usually eat fruit here. For the sake of this fruit forest, I won't bother with it. Chen Zhan walked into the fruit forest with a smile and started picking fruits. Dates, pomegranates, persimmons, cherries, apricots. The forest is not big, but there are many kinds of fruits. However, wild fruits are not grown after all. These wild fruits are very small and have many insect eyes. Chen Zan picked a green date casually, wiped it, and took a bite. The taste is good, quite sweet. Chen Zan muttered, picked a few more, and threw them to the rhubarb and Brother Niu. Eat a meal first, you are almost done, and then continue to pick. After about 10 minutes of picking, the fruit was already piled up in a bamboo basket, heavy. How do I feel that this forest seems to be a black bear? Don't think, this belongs to the black bear. Brother Chen, pick less, save some for other bears. It's harder to be born a bear. No, I feel sorry for this bear. Thousands shouldn't be absolutely wrong, shouldn't provoke Brother Chen, and it's really unlucky to get caught up in the upper body. It's almost done. Chen Zan glanced at the forest and said, go home. The harvest today is quite fruitful, and the unpleasantness of being attacked by the black bear is all gone. Just as Chen Zan's front foot was strong, a black bear came out from the depths of the fruit forest. It looked sad and angry at the bare fruit trees picked by Chen Zan. In the end, he couldn't hold it back, and shouted at Chen Zan's back, roar. Chen Zan paused, turned his head and looked over, and saw the black bear standing outside the fruit forest, howling with a bloodbath open. Chen Zan raised his brows. Who are you shouting at? Brother Niu, look at the fruit. He unloaded the bamboo basket, pressed the handle with his right hand, and pulled it out with a swish, and walked towards the black bear in a stride. Seeing him coming, the black bear couldn't help but tremble, turned around and ran. Running too fast, one was unstable, fell somersault, and rolled twice on the ground. At the moment, he didn't even care about the pain, and even ran around. After walking a few steps, Chen Zan stopped, looked at the bewildered black bear, curled his lips, and retracted the hatchet back to his waist. I have pulled out all the knives, you are so hard. Okay, so cruel. Does the legendary ghost feel sad? I want to print out the photo of Brother Chen and hang it on the wall. It will definitely have a miraculous effect of warding off evil spirits. Brother Shou, be careful, Brother Chen knows, hit you along the network cable. Instead of worrying about this bullshit, Chen Zan turned around and picked up the bamboo basket, and went down the mountain. Just after going down the mountain, I saw Wang Bin and several boys playing in the village. Uncle Chen. Several children ran up, looked at the bamboo basket full of him behind him, and curiously said, Uncle, what is that? Oh, fruit. Chen Zan picked up a few casually, and one person lost a few and said, try it. Crack, really delicious. Uncle, is this fruit picked from the mountain? Yes. Chen Zan jumped off the back of Brother Niu and said as he walked, I ran into a bear in the mountains today. I didn't know that the bear was timid. I fell and ran away. I found the fruit forest while chasing it. Quote. Bear. The children's eyes widened. Uncle, are there really bears in the mountains? Yes, I have. You beat the bear. But my grandfather said that bears are terrifying, and they can eat people. Chen Zan smiled and said, there must be something wrong with you, but who is the uncle? The bear has to be afraid of me when he sees it. Uncle, can I go up the mountain with you tomorrow? Are you not going to school tomorrow? Forget it, tomorrow weekend. Chen Zan patted his head and said, okay, I will take you up the mountain tomorrow. When he was about to get home, he distributed some fruits to the children and gave some to the villagers next door. After the busy work, I started to prepare dinner. After dinner and washing, he leaned back on his chair, opened the live broadcast room, and had a routine evening interaction session with netizens. Brother Chen, I wonder what was your mood when you met a black bear? I was startled at first, and then I thought, this Wang Ba Lao dared to attack me sneakily, then I must find the place back. Brother Chen, Master Bei gave you a thumbs up. Chen Zan was a little confused. I saw it too, I really liked it. Master De also likes it. Brother Chen, you're hanging out. In the live broadcast room, netizens kept sending these barrage. After watching it for a while, Chen Zan knew what had happened. The two outdoor survival masters, Bei Yi and De Yi, liked him on Twitter. Chen Zan opened Weibo and saw relevant news on Hot Search. He clicked in, and the first one was a screenshot taken by a netizen from Twitter. Bei Yi, if you just talk about the ability to survive in the forest, I feel that he may not be as good as me, but in terms of courage and my own strength, I am not as good as him. He is really powerful. I watched the scene of him hugging and throwing the black bear many times. His grasp of time and timing is very exquisite and just right. I don't believe this is a coincidence. I believe even more that even if he comes again 100 times, he can hug this black bear and throw it out. He has such strength. I don't know if I have a chance to invite Chen with me next time I go outside to record a show. I think Chen will give me a great sense of security. Is this really Lord De and Lord Bei? Is the picture P? It's true, I went to see it. Is Brother Chen hanging so much? Even the two great gods Bei Yi and De Yi like it. There is a saying, if you can hug a bear with your bare hands, Lord Bei and Lord De will give you a thumbs up. After reading this Weibo, Chen Zan said, Bei Yi and De Yi are also two outdoor survival experts I like very much. I am very happy to get their affirmation. In the field of outdoor survival, these two people, especially Mr. Bei, have absolutely extraordinary status. And their likes and comments on the internet also made Chen Zan's name become popular on the internet. After chatting with netizens for a while, Chen Zan turned off his mobile phone and prepared to rest. Since coming to the countryside, his work and rest have been quite regular. When I was a chef, I basically could only sleep 6 or 7 hours a day. Fortunately, there are genetic drinks, even if I only sleep for this short time, I don't feel tired at all. And now, he basically goes to bed at 8 o'clock in the evening, and starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. Sleep time is about 10 hours a day, enough cannot be enough. Early the next morning, stand on horseback and have breakfast. It's rare for Wang Bin to sleep in this group of fools. They didn't come to Chen Zan until 8:30. Uncle, are you entering the mountain now? Wait for me. Chen Zan grabbed the hatchet and the seasoning prepared in advance, and took the rhubarb and Brother Niu and left. Have you talked to your family? Said, just say it. Let's eat in the mountains at noon today. Uncle will get you some delicious food. Chen Zan waved his hand, go. I met villagers on the road. Some villagers were worried that Chen Zan would meet a beast in the mountains. But since Chen Zan killed the wild boar, the villagers no longer worry about it. What's a joke? What kind of beast can hurt such a person? Unless it's a tiger or a lion, even a black bear, they don't think it can hurt Chen Zan. The fact is true, the black bear can't hurt it. Entering the mountain, Chen Zan warned, Rhubarb, Brother Niu, look at it. Wow, moo. They said that they understood that Brother Niu was walking at the back, and Rhubarb was walking at the side, right and left with Chen Zan. In this way, even if the situation of yesterday recurs, and a beast suddenly rushes out to attack, they will be able to spot and react to it as soon as possible. Moreover, Chen Zan was highly concentrated throughout the whole process. Even if the black bear dared to attack, he was confident that he could be subdued the first time. Chen Zan paused and his eyes fell in the grass a few meters away. In the next second, a yellow shadow jumped out of the bushes, very fast. Hare. Chen Zan's eyes lit up. Rhubarb. Wow. The rhubarb flew out like a hurricane. The few children were a little excited. Although they were rural children, it was really the first time that the hare had seen them. It was the first time I saw a dog hunting a hare. There are even hares. Nonsense. All bears, what's wrong with a hare? Isn't it weird if it doesn't? Rhubarb is so fast, I just don't know if I can hold it. The drone followed and everyone saw it clearly. The hare is very fast, and jumps up and down, turning left and right, and it is very flexible, which makes people a little unpredictable. But it is faster, Rhubarb is faster than it. And all its changes are in the rhubarb's anticipation. Puff. The hare had just changed direction, but the rhubarb predicted it a step ahead of it. It rushed on and bit the hare's neck in one bite. The hare stopped moving immediately, gurgling with blood. Rhubarb is so strong. This dog can hunt. I really envy Brother Chen. Able to hunt hares and wild boars, I feel that if Brother Chen really sells, there will be people willing to buy 1 million. Don't say 1 million. As long as Brother Chen opens this mouth, there will be someone out of 10 million, believe it or not. This dog is too familiar with a human surname. Basically, he can understand what Brother Chen said. Moreover, the physical fitness of Rhubarb is also very strong. Uncle caught it. It's quite strange, it's a miracle that the uncle was not killed by Rhubarb. Wang Dao was also full of envy when he saw it. Rhubarb almost satisfies the expectations of all dog owners. Being able to train such a dog is definitely full of sense of accomplishment. Rhubarb is really good at hunting. Last time I saw it killed a wild boar, I knew that rhubarb was unusual. Chen Zan is really lucky. Any dog bought on the street is so good. Even people like Ma Jingyao are a little envious of his luck at the moment. Rhubarb came with the hair in his mouth, and walked to Chen Zan's side before putting the hair down. Several children squatted down and surrounded the hare that was killed, exclaiming, "Uncle, this hare is so big." Rhubarb is amazing. Being so boasted by a few children, Rhubarb just raised his head slightly and called out a few loli, indicating that it was nothing. Then he glanced at Brother Niu seemingly at random. The pretending color in his eyes was undoubtedly revealed. Chen Zan grabbed the rabbit's ears and picked it up, weighing it and saying, "This hare is big enough, it's almost 10 jins. Can a hare grow so big? A domestic rabbit can grow up to this size. The rabbit is so pitiful. Living Buddha upstairs. Woo, bunnies are so delicious, I can eat 3 bowls of rice with tears." Chen Zan threw the rabbit into the bamboo basket and said, "We have lunch today, let's go, then go around." Not long after entering the mountain today, they caught a hare. They seemed to have seen this hare in Chen Zan's hands, turning it into a fragrant rabbit meat feast. They were paying attention to the surroundings as they walked, but unfortunately they didn't find any hares or pheasants along the way. After half an hour, they came to the periphery of the fruit forest. "Go pick some fruit by yourself, and later we will go to the river to catch some fish, grill the fish and bake the rabbit to eat." "Yeah, good. Uncle, you didn't bring a fishing rod, how can you catch fish later?" "Uncle has a way." Chen Zan smiled. "There is no fishing rod, there is no fishing rod, only if he wants to fish, there is no he cannot catch." Several children were picking fruits. Chen Zan stood by, guarding against the black bears that might rush out. But he guessed that the black bear didn't have the guts. However, his estimation was wrong this time. In the fruit forest less than 20 meters away from him, the black bear, who had just finished eating the fruit and was about to rest, heard the movement. He saw several familiar figures through the gaps in the branches and leaves. It's the two-legged beast. Look closely, the black bear is furious and furious. The two-legged beast unexpectedly brought other two-legged beasts to steal his own fruit. Too much, too much. I stole my fruit yesterday, and brought someone to steal it today. Do you treat me as a decoration? I don't want face as a black bear. Simply unforgivable. The black bear is furious. Even if it knows that this two-legged beast is very powerful, but at this moment, it is full of anger, wishing to slap the two-legged beast to death. Roar! The black bear walked out of the forest and roared at Chen Zan from a long distance. The few children who were picking the fruit were startled. When they looked back and saw the black bear standing up, they were all shocked and motionless. "Hey, this big guy has appeared again. Brother Chen, get it. Is that the bear yesterday? Wasn't it quite persuasive? Why did it suddenly become stiff? I'm not used to it. I thought about it all night, the more I think about it, the more I feel aggrieved." Seeing the black bear again, everyone was a little accustomed to it, and didn't put the black bear in their eyes at all. Chen Zan raised his eyebrows. The skin is itchy again, is this? Roar! Black bear! For dignity! Boom boom boom! The black bear rushed in, full of momentum. Looking at Chen Zan getting closer and closer, he felt that his Xiongsheng was about to reach the Gao dynasty. It seems to have seen the scene where he slapped Chen Zan in the air. However, the next second, boom, with a loud noise, the black bear rose into the air, and then fell heavily to the ground. It's almost exactly the same as yesterday. As soon as it was about to approach, Chen Zan rushed forward, broke its front paws, and fell over the shoulders beautifully without any accident. Several people in Wangbin opened their mouths, and the fruit they had just picked rolled all over the floor. Rhubarb looked at it stupidly from the side, and Brother Niu hadn't even changed the posture of eating grass from beginning to end. The black bear is lying on the ground, looking up at the sky, and the classic 3 questions of life can't help but pop up in his mind. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Snapped. Chen Zan walked over and slapped the black bear with a slap on his face. The huge strength made the black bear wake up immediately. Just as the black bear wanted to move, Chen Zan suddenly pressed his head with one hand, feeling his thoughts at the moment. Black bear, for dignity. Chen Zan. These years, even bears have begun to talk about dignity. Chen Zan stood up from the ground and looked down at it. Get up. The black bear understands, he has just established communication with it. Black bear, I refuse. Chen Zan narrowed his eyes and clenched his fists. The black bear got up, but the small eyes were still stubborn. Chen Zan smiled and pointed to the ground. Come, turn around 3 times on the spot. Roar. The black bear was angry. The orcs will never be slaves. Never be a slave. Chen Zan nodded, saying nothing, and pressed the hilt of the knife around his waist with his right hand. Ha! With a knife drawn, the dazzling blade made the black bear's heart and liver tremble. In a circle, 2 laps, 3 laps, still behaved. Chen Zan took the knife back with satisfaction and patted the black bear's head. Let's go, don't scare the children here. Roar. The black bear grinned, and smiled as if to be cute. Gotta go, let's go. Then he turned and ran away for a while. This bear has changed my view of the bear species. Couldn't it be so terrible? It's so scary, because Mao has to rush forward from the beginning. Unsolved puzzle. Several children ran over, excited. Uncle, you just threw the bear out. That bear is so courageous, it's afraid of you. Uncle, is that really a bear? Last night they went back and said to their grandpa that Uncle Chen met the bear and beat the bear, but the grandpas didn't believe it. Seeing it with their own eyes today, they were sure that Chen Zan really did not lie. But why is this bear so weak? So weak that they once wondered if this bear was a real bear. After explaining a few words casually and picking some fruits, Chen Zan said, let's go to the lake to grill the fish. On this day, Chen Zan took them to have fun in the mountains. And 1 month away, there are only less than 5 days left. Time flies, and it is the last day. On this day, Chen Zan stayed at home honestly and did not go anywhere. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there was a knock on the door outside the courtyard. Chen Zan stood up and took a look, a little surprised. He walked quickly and opened the courtyard door and said, Village Chief, what are you doing here? The visitor is almost 50 years old, and his name is Wang Damen, the village head of Shengwang village. Wang Damen said with a happy face, Xiao Chen, thank you, thank you. Chen Zan was confused. The village chief, what are you thanking me for? Of course I have to thank you. This morning, someone from a company came over and said that they were building roads for our village. Wang Damen said with excitement. People from that company said that they saw you on the internet to promote our village. They knew that the roads in our village were not easy to follow. That's why they built the roads for us. Chen Zan suddenly realized that feelings are like this. However, this company is really good at propagating that, when it comes to road construction, it is just an ordinary cement road, and this section is worth several million. So much money, if it is used for publicity, it may not be able to arouse some splashes. It can be used to build roads, not only to gain fame, but also to take advantage of Chen Zan's popularity and get a wave of free publicity. This abacus is really good. But Chen Zan feels nothing. As long as they are really willing to take the money to build roads, then they deserve this propaganda. This is really a good thing. The road in this village is really bad. Brother Chen can be regarded as unintentionally arranging Lu Chengyan. Obviously, this company said it was building roads, but it was actually spending money on reputation and publicity. What's your purpose in managing people? Anyway, as long as they really build roads, it's okay. Regardless of the facts, there is no need to explore other people's goals for this kind of thing. Brother Chen's challenge is over tonight, and I will definitely give full marks when that time comes. It is bound to have full marks. Brother Chen is the king farmer. It is absolutely indisputable to get full marks. I just want to know, what will Brother Chen choose for his next career? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.